Hey everyone, the Talking Dads podcast is brought to you by Little Scholars Early Learning Center. Whether your family needs infant care, a preschool program, or before and after school care, Little Scholars' highly rated Step Up to Quality programs provide quality early childhood education at an affordable price. Visit www.littlescholars.net to get in contact with an enrollment specialist and schedule a tour of any of their 5 Lake County campuses. Here's the deal. Talking Dads fans are getting a little bonus. Mention that you heard about them through our podcast, and when you tour, and you'll receive $25 off of your registration fee. Again, that's Little Scholars Early Learning Center, where children learn, play, and grow together. We are also brought to you by Pub Fredo Gastropub. Pub Fredo was voted Best Gastropub in Cleveland in 2019 by Cleveland Magazine Silver Spoon Awards. We love Pub Fredo. Their menu is chef-inspired, always pushing the limits of traditional pub fare. The other night I had a burger, I believe it was called the Pub Burger. It was incredible. Cooked perfectly. It was amazing. And you won't have a problem pairing your favorite item on the menu with their great selection of local craft beers, crafted cocktails, and of course, an amazing bourbon and whiskey selection. I went with the Bullet 10-year with my Pub Burger. All of this in a cozy, fun, come-as-you-are atmosphere. You can check them out at pubfredo.com and on Facebook and Instagram at Pubfredo Gastropub.
We are also brought to you by Marky Fresh Barbershop in Mentor, Ohio.
Bro, I love Marky Fresh.
It's the best, isn't it?
Dude, I get cut there like every 3 weeks. My kid gets cut there every month
every
and
now
a half
and then.
or so. Month and a half, 2 months, something like that. They do such a good job.
The environment is phenomenal. Everybody's awesome there.
Can I tell you a secret? I don't even give a shit about the haircut. It is so much freaking fun going there.
Just to hang out.
Yeah. I have such
Just have a good time. Every time, man.
Yeah.
You get caught. You want to be in there fast.
Oh yeah.
Their whole app, everything, booking to get in is so convenient and easy, but you get caught up because you just want to hang out and talk with these guys.
You know what the word is? Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
So many shenanigans.
You don't want to leave.
It's so much fun. But honestly, they do a fantastic job.
They really do.
I look way better when I leave than when I get in there.
You really do.
I know.
So yeah, Marky Fresh.
Yeah, book at markyfresh.com.
Book, get in, stay fresh.
What's up, podcast? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Talking Dads. This week's special guest is Rick Rucinski, and he's the brand director for Tuscany Wine Distributors of Ohio. We had a really good conversation with him about his girls and like their love of soccer. We did a lot of good traveling dad hacks for when we're all allowed to travel again, which we're all looking forward to. But yeah, we just had a really good conversation. He got us to drink wine. We drank wine this whole episode, and it wasn't awful. I actually had a really good time. But yeah, take a listen. Let us know what you think, and have a great weekend, everyone.
In a world where moms continue to dominate parenting authority and a father's role is minimized in society, 2 dads take on the toughest parenting topics on a weekly basis, all while drinking bourbon. They are the Talking Dads.
I wasn't too heartbroken about Lindor. We knew it
was going to happen,
dude.
And at this point, you knew you weren't going to get anything back in return.
Right.
Here's the thing is I was prepared for Frankie to be gone. And I'm a huge Tribe guy. Love the Tribe.
Yeah.
But you knew it was going to happen. We've known for years it was going to happen.
I mean,
To
they told us-
throw Cookie in as a freaking salary dump
That hurt.
crushes my
Especially you're a
anticipation.
huge Cookie fan. too.
Love
I love
Cookie.
the guy. Obviously.
Love Cookie. And to throw him in as a salary dump. You know what our payroll is right now?
Less than every other team.
$22 million.
That's absurd.
I mean, how? I'm
You'd be like,
pretty
"Hey, we
sure
have a
the
great
Lake County
pitching staff."
captains have a higher payroll. Like, it's outrageous to think that they're going to compete at all. Now,
I'll say this about the Tribe, is they know about other teams' prospects more than the other teams do. I swear. Like, they're so good about finding other
They're good
prospects.
talent evaluators.
They are.
That's
They're
for
good.
sure.
But you get them.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? You're going to develop them just so they can go to the Yankees or the Dodgers?
Exactly.
Or
We're a farm league team.
Yeah.
For the big markets.
Well, it just sucks because you keep being told, like, the window is this, right?
Yeah,
like,
you have your window.
We're happy. We got Shane Bieber. We got, by the way, we got rid of Clevenger last year. We got rid of, and I'm not too beaten up about getting rid of Kluber, which I really like Kluber, but he's towards the Yankee end. Now. Yeah, he's a Yankee as of today. But
Bauer.
You had Bauer. You had 4 legitimate aces on your staff that could make you competitive, even though we weren't spending money in the outfield or even at the corners. And I say that because Jose is great, but they're not paying him anything.
No.
So you're not paying any money for your bats. Your biggest bat is Carlos Santana, who's also gone.
He's gone, yeah.
But, you could keep up because you had this pitching staff that was just outrageously good.
Yeah, but you're still going to lose games 2-1.
Right.
2-0.
But it was working for us, right?
It was, enough.
We had enough talent that would get us through. You start getting rid of those guys, now what are we left with? Shane Bieber and who?
Yeah,
Bunch of maybes.
Yeah. Where's the cricket button?
Yeah, it's true. That on, though. It sucks, man.
Anybody watching NBA?
I was going to say, how about them Cavs, man? No.
I haven't watched.
No. The whole team's hurt right now. But
before that, I didn't watch.
But they're fun to. I know, right? That's a tough thing. Here's why I haven't been watching. So I switched over to YouTube TV, and I don't have Fox. What is that? Fox Sports Ohio or something like that, or just Fox? Yeah, it doesn't. I don't have that channel. Like I have STO, and I have all those other channels like the Tribe channels and everything. But I don't have Fox Sports for some reason. I do. But not the one for the Cavs, though.
I haven't checked mine because I have YouTube TV also.
But I know from what I've heard, they're fun to watch. Like they're a bunch of young guys and they play hard.
And
they're in the games.
They have a good. What are their How many games have they played? 10.
Well, here's the problem. So
9.
We went.
Really?
So they went like on a. They won
the
first
like
4 games,
4-1, right?
And then they just lost. And everybody keeps getting hurt too.
Kevin Love hasn't even played a game.
No, he hasn't even played. Trade that dude already. There's no need to even have him on the team.
What are they going to get for him?
Nothing, but still.
Case of Gatorade?
Maybe 2 cases.
All right.
Some new seat covers for the bench. Like
those are nice.
New towel guy comes in with him. The best towel guy in the NBA. I don't know what you get for Kevin Love at all. He's not even.
I like Kevin Love.
You got to love the guy, but he doesn't do anything anymore.
Yeah. He's father time has caught up.
Yeah. Even when he came to the Cavs, he had already lost all of his fat. Like you remember how when he was bigger,
he got super skinny, and then
he became like a model.
Yeah, right.
And then he did his job during that playoff run.
He played defense for what?
A minute,
10 seconds on.
That was the best thing he did. Yeah.
Do you remember that dude when he was on the Timberwolves though?
He was the best.
He was a stocky dude that would put up 20 and 15 every night.
Right.
Yeah, he was amazing. And then he lost all that
Granted,
weight.
he was all that they had, but he got skinny and he just got beat up.
Injuries took its toll.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Also, in the NBA too is like, what is it? The Nets just got Harden.
That's gonna be a train wreck.
That can't be good. It's not. Listen. James Harden has had. So he started his career with Westbrook and Durant.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get anything done.
Close, but
then he went to. Did he go to Houston after?
He's Houston after that, yeah.
And so they brought in Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
They brought Westbrook back.
Yeah.
Into Houston. Who else did he want to play with? Didn't they bring Dwight Howard in for him or something?
Yeah, Dwight Howard
that?
was there
for half a year.
Yeah.
It was.
And they're bringing talent there, but I don't think that you can win with that guy.
You need 4 balls to play with.
Yeah, right.
And then he's also obviously starting to say things like, well, I can't win with this team. So he's talking shit. So they're like, okay, fine, asshole, and we'll trade you.
Yeah.
And then he's going to the Nets, and I'm pretty sure Kyrie's trying to get traded from the Nets now.
Did you see?
He said he's good to sit the season out.
Why though?
I don't know.
I don't understand either.
He's
run up
losing
his
it,
fine.
I think,
I heard on the radio today he's run up his fine total to $900,000. So he's approaching $1 million fine for these games that he's sitting.
I don't know what happened to the kid, man.
The earth is flat, dog.
Yeah, you're right though.
He's just not a team player. He has to be the only star.
And
he wants to be the guy.
Right. Dude, if I'm Durant, I am furious.
Yeah, man. You should have just stayed in Golden State. And
yeah.
I don't know how they're going to do that with all those guys, but
whatever. I don't know. Even if all right, I'm going to Brooklyn. I'm going to sit out the season and recover. But then I got Kyrie, and maybe I can me and him can work something. I don't know. Now he's not playing, and he bring in Harden, who knows?
He's the black hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ball goes to him.
Right.
Go back
Yeah,
out.
that's it, man.
I saw a meme.
Just-
It was like an NBA 2K video game clip, and it's just it's like the Brooklyn Nets offense now that they've got Harden. You're expecting to see some like crazy
I saw that, yeah.
highlight reel, and it's just a guy dribbling at the top of the key.
Lets the clock run out and then drives it.
Yeah.
Or does this?
Chucks a 3.
Yeah, chucks a 3. Always.
Oh man, dude's talented, but sometimes I think that these guys need life coaches or something. Like, and it's got to be tough, right? Like, I don't know what it's like to be 20 years old and handed millions of dollars.
I bet you they offer stuff at the door.
They should.
I bet you they have classes for these guys and be like, hey, this is what you do with your money. This is how you save it to have something after your career's over.
Yeah, but it's to me, it's more about like an image coach. And the problem is like those guys make so much money that
They don't want to hear
who's going to tell
know it
them?
all. They have their buddies telling them.
Yeah,
one
exactly.
thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. They have people in their corner telling them what they should say and be like, don't listen to that guy.
Yeah, because they're
Be
going to
you,
hire their
do your
friends,
thing, like,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. I get it.
Well, I mean, that's like
don't know.
the Jason Tatum, I think is his name, on the Celtics.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that guy hasn't, from what they've said, he hasn't spent any of his like NBA money.
It's
like
amazing.
he's just saving
Like a
everything.
1990 car or something like.
Yeah, like the guy just doesn't.
Oh yeah, I did hear that story.
Smart kid. Like, I mean, that money will last him for the rest of his life because he's
Yeah,
be smart about it. I mean, not saying that you shouldn't spend any of your money, but try to hold on to it. It's tough though because, like, imagine I go into the NBA. Would be amazing.
I can imagine that.
Yeah, you see it, right? The height. I got the height. But then I'm like hanging out with my friends, like, let's go out. I'm taking you guys all out.
Sure.
Hey, buddy, you want a car? Or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it would be tough because you want to give everybody everything.
It would be tough.
Like, you guys want some awesome shit? You want to go hang out? You want to go out? Let's go spend all this money.
And that's just got to change you, right? Like you
Yeah.
could be the hardest working, most humble person ever. You get a couple $1,000,000 thrown at you at 19, 20 years old. It's got to change you.
I mean, think about it. You get a check in the mail this past year, and you're like, Amazon, here we go. Like, I mean, I'm buying everything. I don't even know what I bought, but I'm like,
Mercedes dealer.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
I'm up there. I'm like, I got a new foot massager. I don't even know what else I bought. Just a bunch of random shit.
Did you buy a foot massager?
No, but I should have. I wanted to buy. So he's got this massage chair at his house, and it's got like, you put like your feet in the bottom, and it's
Dude.
it goes up around your legs, like your calves, and it squeezes it like it's like this.
Dude, that's the best part of that whole freaking
Those are
thing.
cool.
It's
I was
like,
thinking about buying one of those
from
actually.
your ankles to your like. I got these giant like stupid calves,
Did yours fit in there, by the way?
barely,
Yeah.
and it like
Gotta
hurts.
grease it up a little bit.
Yeah. it
I
slides
should,
in.
yeah. The motors down there are just struggling every
Yeah,
time. I get
just
in
call
that thing.
911. Need the jaws of life to get out.
But no, that's the best part about it.
Yeah.
I miss that thing. It's in storage.
I was in
right now.
storage. Okay, I was going to ask you about it. They have just that ankle thing
Oh yeah.
on Amazon.
That's the best part.
Yeah, it's pretty
Be worth
badass.
it.
Well, hey, we've been talking a lot, and hey, we have a guest here. Isn't that weird?
Hey. Yeah, welcome to the show, Rick. We are in beautiful downtown Willoughby at the Collab by Notion. And we're going to talk some dad stuff and
Some wine
a
stuff.
little bit different tonight. We're drinking wine.
at
Thanks for
us.
bringing some wine. Why don't you take a couple minutes, introduce yourself to the millions and millions of listeners. But yeah, we like to ask for like a dad profile. So who you are, what you do, what makes you a dad?
Well, my name is Rick Rucinski. I work, the brand director for Tuscany Wine Distributors of Ohio. My job is to bring in all the cool new wines into our portfolio and to find the best staff that we can find.
Okay.
So what we've been doing is trying to find veteran, savvy, hungry guys and ladies that enjoy their job.
Okay.
I've been married for 18 years to my wife, Michelle. I have two daughters, 13 and 10, Caitlin and Emma. They go to Berkshire School District.
Okay.
Both huge soccer players.
Nice.
They're actually there tonight, indoor soccer. So
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, so 13 and 10, you said?
Yep.
Okay. So are they in school or are they doing virtual or how's that working through that district?
they're one of the lucky ones. They've been going to school the whole time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
That's great.
Our superintendent was really ahead of the times and made sure everybody was safe, everything was clean. You had a choice. You can go to school or you can go online. Most of the kids picked in school.
Right.
My kids love out of school because it was easy. They worked for 2 hours and then they can hang out.
Exactly. It's more fun that way.
Right.
Get what you need to get done and then just be the rest. You have the rest of the day to do whatever.
They're on their phones or doing whatever they do on a computer or
Yep.
whatever. I'm happy they're in school.
Right.
Because they need structure. They get bored.
Trust me, man. Yeah, I'm with you on that 100%. They do, man. My son, Ben, is finally going back for the first time since
good.
what was that, like September.
Right.
And I'm so pumped for it because the kid, he's 3, so he's in preschool, but he needs to do speech therapy. And for him to do this stuff on an iPad, the kid, he's 3. Like
Right. That's a
he
full
can't keep his attention.
It's the squirrel effect for a dog.
Exactly, man. It's exactly.
Right.
And
Right.
and then, we have babysitters or my wife's home with them, and it's like, they're not teachers. So trying to keep his attention on the iPad for more than I don't even know how long they're on there. I haven't had to do it for him yet. So I'm so happy he's going back because he needs it. And he's just a pain in the ass. The kid is just.
It'll be good for him.
I'm pumped.
I've said from the beginning, like, my kids are 5 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
5 and 3. Yeah. So, like, it's rough for them, kindergarten and preschool. I can't imagine having kids that are, middle school or something like it. Like this 5th to like 8th grade, I think would be just really tough.
Socially, it just kills them.
Well, socially for sure, but I guess in my head, I'm thinking that the content that they're expected to learn is just different. And I don't think that it's the kids that can't handle it. I just, like, the teachers, they're just thrown into, like, having to teach virtually. And I guess you just can't tell me that they're getting the same knowledge that they would be if they were in person.
I don't think so.
Now, is it achievable? Sure.
Oh, they've shown that it's happened.
Like last minute and all that kind. I just don't see it.
Well, these teachers don't go to school learning how to teach virtually. Like
right.
you know what I mean? Like then all of a sudden they're like, hey, by the way, it's Saturday and we're closed starting Monday.
Right.
Figure it out. Like,
right.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do this lesson plan.
Yeah, it's an
and figure this whole thing out.
Right.
And tell these kids like what to do. I mean, luckily, the majority of kids are sound on the whole, like with all the technology, they know how to figure everything out. But still, at the same time, that's a huge change.
Well,
and you're at home, and I don't know.
I saw this. It was like a meme or something like that, where it was a teacher that put it out there, and it was like, "It's so cool. I'll teach 15 minutes on whatever the theory of whatever it is." Excuse me, and it's great because then my kids ask me if I have a cat. It's like, okay, like if they're in school, are they going to do that? No, but they're staring at a screen
and something's happening in the background.
Yeah, right.
ADD kicks in. You're like, ooh,
squirrel.
Yeah.
And
what size TV you got back there?
Yeah, right.
Is it a Samsung?
So I think that it's been amazing to see the transition in a lot of the school districts picking up the slack and doing everything that they possibly can. I just don't know that it's a fair crack for the kids.
You wonder how long it's going to set them back in the future.
Yeah.
Especially going into high school. And
Right.
That's the thing too. Like you said, socially too. Like you're at home. Like, and then you're stuck at home. You can't go out and do anything. Like, luckily your daughters they've been in school this whole time, but also they have sports. So they get out and do some things. But I mean, most of these kids, they're at home. They see like their classmates, but they're not talking to them in the hallway. They're not talking to them at lunch. They're not doing what they usually do. And then they're not going to their houses afterwards. Right. Like, like everything's so messed up. And I know it's temporary. Like we'll be getting back to normal eventually.
Right.
But man, I mean, yeah, like you said, like long term, yeah, it could affect a few things.
Yeah. And I mean, kids are resilient and people are resilient. So I'm hoping that, it's just like the worrywart in me that says, what are we doing here? But
well, you look at the school districts that our kids go to, they're fine because we all have internet. We all have computers.
Sure.
Absolutely.
What about some of these other schools that are
they don't have it.
Have the money. They can't afford internet.
Really good point.
Like look at, I just heard yesterday, Cleveland schools are going online through end of February now.
Damn.
And so a lot of those people that live downtown and in Cleveland, don't have the internet.
Yeah. And then they're just out of school and they just have nothing to do.
Right. Well, and even if they do, like, who's home? You know what I mean? Like, it's a struggle for parents to figure out. I know, like, when our kids were virtual, my wife couldn't, so she works in government, and she could not leave work. Like, it's just not an option.
I was lucky with my new job now. I was able to work from home 85% of the time.
That's good.
You know, but now half the time it was just breaking up fights and
Yeah, exactly.
right.
she's looking at me.
But not everyone has those situations. You know, I mean, there's a lot of people that are working from home, and I'm here to tell you, like, working from home and getting your kids to be functional in a virtual classroom environment
it's impossible.
is not an easy task.
You're not
Like,
working.
You're either not working or you're not helping your kids out.
And you're not, because like as soon as you leave your kids unsupervised,
Oh yeah,
they're over there playing in the corner with their toys. They walk away from the screen. Who knows what they're doing? And
dude, Gibbs was on in kindergarten, but like so they were doing something. They were supposed to be filling out this like worksheet or whatever. And so I'm watching them, and I was like, all right, he's good. He's in the middle of an activity. I can go slip away and make a phone call. So I go in the other room, make a phone call. It's like 10 minutes. It's probably like 6 minutes. And I come back, and he's got a box of cookies and
hungry.
And an iPad, like his Fire tablet thing.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to boot up a show, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
What, are you on
He's
break?
like, well, I finished my worksheet. I'm like, I don't care. You're in class. Come on, dude.
yeah, do you do that in class? Yeah.
You know, so I mean, you have to watch them. You know, and, and it's, you know, and then you get into the moral dilemma of like, well, what's more important right now? And I'm sorry, but we all have jobs to do.
Yep.
And that is important. Of course, my kids are incredibly important to me, and their education is way up there on my list.
Oh, absolutely. That's number one. But I mean,
and I guess that's what I'm getting at, is it's not fair to parents to have to try and make those choices or prioritize those things, because we've never had to. Right?
yeah. And well, then you think about the situation where you can't stay home.
Right.
And you guys both have to go to work, and like,
Right.
okay, well, maybe we need to find a babysitter. Well, we don't have the option to take them to daycare or anything like that, so you have to find babysitters, and
Right.
then you have to expect them to
Right.
Be teachers.
at the same time, which we had to do with grandparents and aunts and uncles. And it's like, here you go. Here's their folder for today.
Good luck.
Have fun. This is the lesson plan.
And look,
they figured it out. It worked.
I'm not trying to whine about it.
Oh, damn it. Where's that one at? Nope, that's not
Oh,
it.
come on. But no, it's
Nope, that's not it. Okay, it's gone.
all right. You forget. It's all right. But you know, again, I think that when it's all said and done, they'll be okay.
Oh yeah.
We'll just see what the long-term effects are, and we'll deal with it, right? Like that's what we do.
That's what we've
is
been doing this
we
whole year.
Figure it out, and we'll deal with the consequences, and everyone's doing the best that they can, and that's all you can ask for. But
Hope by June it's semi-normal.
yeah, I mean,
And we're coming up on a year.
that's really my goal.
which is
that
crazy.
by
I did not
next
think that, like when the whole thing started, like what was that, last March? You're like, it's be a few weeks, right?
school year. Yeah.
Like, okay, so you're on lockdown for 2 weeks. You're like, okay, then after that's done, things should go back to normal. And then it was like, okay, summertime's coming around. Things seem to be getting,
Like another flu. Like, oh, let's go away.
yeah, we'll go away. Exactly. It's kind of because who knew? Summer comes along, the restaurants and bars are back open. Downtown Willoughby's crazy, and then all of a sudden, boom! You have your curfew, 10 o'clock, and it's all gone. And then it gets worse from there, and it's like, holy shit, man! Like there's no
man.
end in sight all of a sudden, and
I
then
know. Now we got like travel restrictions, and
we have 2 trips that we had one canceled. We were supposed to be there right now. Actually,
yeah,
we're supposed to be in Kentucky right now.
Yeah, we'd be hanging out in Kentucky right now.
I was supposed to go to California.
Yeah.
We're supposed to go to Italy in the spring, but that's probably going to be put on hold. Or
Yeah, it's crazy, man. This is good, by the way.
It is good. So, yeah,
Why don't you
let's-
tell us a little
let's
bit
talk
about this wine?
About wine, because we don't. I don't know anything about wine.
Well, the wine that we're drinking right now is Opolo. It's a vineyard in Paso Robles in California.
Okay.
It's actually the first of the wineries that I found when I took position in July. Paso is kind of that new hot spot for people that love wine.
Okay.
With Napa being so expensive, and you can't get anything on Napa for under $50 right now.
Okay.
What's nice about this wine, it's fruit forward. It's got great tannin structure. It lasts a long time after you drink it. You can still feel
It's got a good
the
finish.
after effects. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
But it's a great wine for under $25.
Okay.
They have a Zinfandel. Their Mountains Inn is, I think, their best wine. They have a playful name for it. They call it the Baby Maker.
I love that.
Because they say if you buy that bottle and go home with the wife, the girlfriend, you're guaranteed to, have a good night.
There you go.
Did you bring any of that? Or?
Can he take some home with him?
I was going to bring that one, but with shipping being delayed because of the snowstorm on the West Coast. It should be here Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So it is on its way from California to Ohio, and it will be in all the stores around here, like World Wine, Red Wine and Brew. It will be in those stores in this Mentor area.
That's awesome.
So that's kind of a cool job. Is you go out and scout and find different products that, like I don't know. How many distributors are there? Is it is it a very competitive market, or is it like a couple different places have like a stranglehold on the whole industry? How does that work?
There's a bunch of distributors. There's probably 3 or 4 very large ones.
Okay.
That have 5,000 to 10,000 different SKUs in their book. We're relatively small, probably one of the smaller ones in the state. But when Jeff, my owner, brought me in, he said, "Here's freedom. Go blow up the book." We're 85%, 90% Italian when I took over. I've added 14 wineries from California, Washington, Oregon. And our book is boutique, family owned, just badass stuff that's great juice for not that expensive.
I love that.
Would it be fair to kind of parallel that to like the craft beer or craft whiskey industry? So what we've seen in the whiskey world is, you have your big ones. You have your Jim Beams and your Buffalo Trace and things like that, Maker's Mark. And then now you're seeing this surge of these craft distillers or craft bottlers that are blending their own, and they're just on a much smaller scale, and you can find some really, really, really good product at sometimes a better price. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like the boom that's going on right now, in my opinion. I don't know, like
it seems like we're finding a lot of it lately.
Every time I go to the store, I see different. Oh, I've never seen that before. Like, what is
it's
that?
A small time place.
From?
Yeah,
they're from Iowa, or they're from where New Jersey. We got Penelope. Those guys,
Las
like
Vegas,
they're doing this thing, and I think it's really cool. I think it's cool for the industry, and I think it's great for the consumer because it just gives you more options. And I don't know. I think that's fun. So is that fair to say that like these wineries that you're getting product from are like smaller entities that are putting stuff out there, or is that not necessarily the same?
It's what it is. And why they don't go with the bigger guys is because they'd be lost. Because they don't make thousands of cases a year. Mm-hmm. They're making under 500 cases a year.
Okay.
So they couldn't supply
feed that
a
demand.
Huge chain that goes through tons of wine all the time.
Yeah.
They want their wines out there. They want people to know their story. But they want it to be kind of our selling point to these wineries in California or wherever. We want to make long-lasting relationships that, we don't want you to be, kind of like the craft beer is a perfect example. Mm-hmm. You get a new craft beer, go try it. Next week, it's gone because it's such a small batch.
Exactly.
The next new one is coming out.
Right.
People want new wines, want new stuff, but in the wine industry, you're trying to make those long-lasting relationships. So it's not just a flash in a pan. We brought your wine in for this year, next year, you won't order it all, and we're going to go out to the next new one. We're always looking for that next cool winery, but we want to keep, like Opolo, we want to keep this relationship going because we believe in them, and they believed in us to start it off.
Well, then if, like you said, like you go to look for it, and it's gone, you're like, okay, well, where the hell am I going to find this? If you could keep that relationship with them and keep it in the stores, it's easier to find. Like if I find out that, hey, I love this wine, I want to keep getting it. Like, I mean,
right.
If it's something like you said, like with the craft beers, like all of a sudden it's gone. That was that small batch of it, and then it's gone, and you're not going to see it again. Like if you find something you want, you're going to want to find it again.
I mean, people are creatures of habit, right?
Yeah.
Like you find something that you like, and you want to keep it on hand. And like I assume that the wine industry or the wine consumer is similar to the whiskey or bourbon consumer in that, like, you're not buying a bottle and then finishing it and then going on to the next one necessarily.
Unless it's in COVID.
Well, yeah.
Well, I guess what I mean by that is like, your wine consumer is probably not just at home with one bottle there and that's their option, right? Like you probably have 3 to 10, sometimes have their own like little cellar, whatever. And it's fun to go find new stuff and try it. And like, yeah, you have your go-tos, but like I know, but
it is cool to find something that's different. That's like hard to find.
Like, I want to give that a shot.
Hell yeah!
Like that's a cool label, or that's like you brought up stories. Like I think in the whiskey world, especially, that is becoming the huge trend. Is all right. Well, who is this company? What do they represent? What are their values? And consumers like that, right? I mean, it's kind of cool to have a story. I love seeing on the label that these people are from this place, and this is why they're in the wine business now.
Right. And there's 3 things that we look for when we go pick a wine. Number 1 has to be the juice, because if the juice sucks, it doesn't matter on the label, doesn't matter in the story, doesn't matter in the price. They're not gonna come back by a second bottle.
Right.
And then like the label has to be cool because it's got to catch your eye, because there's not always gonna be someone there to sell the wine to you.
True.
So you want the label to catch your attention, the juice has to be good, and the price has to be good. If those 3 things happen, then they're gonna come back and buy another bottle. And they're going to tell their friends about it, and then they're going to buy it, and then now the wine's blown up.
And absolutely, like when you go to the store to buy wine, like I buy wine for my wife, I'm going to get her something, but it's like so many of those bottles look the same. You need something that's going to catch your eye, and if it does, it's a sweet looking bottle. The label's awesome. Probably going to grab that.
Yeah.
Like check this out. This is awesome. Give it a try. See what it's like.
Kind of picked a Lobo bottle. It's got the gold. It's black. It's sharp. It's clean.
It's clean. Yeah.
Right.
Get the brown glass. It's like it's a cool bottle.
And I picked the City Limits one out of Washington. It's a 2 Vintners. This is their secondary label, but I think it fits Cleveland. It's got that city, that
absolutely
sign, the street signs. It's just a cool looking label.
And it's simple,
right?
And it's like it's just that simple look to it. And like you said, like it fits Cleveland, which is that's a really awesome bottle.
All right, so I like this. So it's Opolo.
Yep,
Opolo. So it's named for the creek that runs through our vineyard. All right. To me, that's cool. Like, you find a spot to have some grapes and like what's going through it. Why are we calling it this? Like, that's a cool thing.
It's a river.
And then what I do like about this, and whiskey doesn't really do this that often, and it's kind of frustrating, but also kind of fun. I don't know. But this like tells you the tasting notes that you should be getting. And as I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh yeah, all right. And I'm not the most experienced wine taster, of course, but it's similar to trying to pick out stuff.
Well, for sure, because you're picking
whiskey.
stuff up.
But it says Ford characteristics, including blackberry, raspberry, and a touch of spice.
Okay, I can pick that up.
And
I'm like, yeah,
you get that for sure.
Yeah, that's very good.
And it's like, and the same thing with like drinking whiskey or bourbon, like just the different like levels of it. Like you said, like the finish on it, it kind of sticks with you. You could feel it on the back end, and that's not all up front, just taste, and then it's gone. Like you actually have something else with it. There's different levels.
You don't want it all burned too.
No,
it's too much alcohol.
Exactly. And this has a nice warm finish to it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's very tasty. And again, I'm not like I tried to get into wine. I really did. Remember that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think bourbon then got in the way of it.
Yeah,
they're pretty similar. Bourbon and wine are similar.
And it's fun too. Like I've never sat with a glass of wine and like try to pick out things from it.
That's fair. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I've never really done that with any of my drinks. Like then we start doing our bourbon reviews, and it was like, okay, what are we tasting here? Mm-hmm. What are we smelling? This is a complex bourbon. Like you could taste this up front, and then on the back end, it still has that hug to it. Like you still feel it going down, and like there's different levels. And you could get that with wine. Like if we're doing wine tasting, it's pretty similar. Yeah, for sure.
I can see the similarities. I mean, of how you drink something versus what you're drinking. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's because we're getting older. We could appreciate these things a little bit more instead of just trying to get wasted.
Yeah, I mean, we're not slamming Busch Lights.
Yeah. What are you getting on that Busch Light? Yeah. Well, I can taste the hops.
Misery and Bills do.
Wait, let me see if I have it. There it is.
There it is.
Found it.
Yeah, I don't know. I did. I went through a phase where, you know what it was? Is my local grocery store, who's no longer in business, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
They had this. They didn't have a liquor license, but they were allowed to sell wine. Different licenses, whatever.
Right.
And it was so close, and I was like, I was just coming off of I'm tired of beer like phase, which I'm still.
You get fatigued from beer.
Absolutely.
I mean, I went hard in the paint with craft beers for a long, long time.
Well, it's fun because there's so many of them. Like there's so much to find. It's the same thing. Like you're looking for a cool new beer. Like you go to a place like Red Wine and Brew, and there's just an unlimited amount of beer that you could find. You're like, well, let's try that one. That label looks sweet. Let's give that a try.
And it's still the same because I'll go through there, and it got overwhelming. Like, I like an IPA, and I like I even figured out like I like the Citra hops or something like that. And so I was looking for anything with that. And it used to be there's 1 or 2 options. And then all of a sudden it seemed like overnight there was 40 options. And I'm like, and now, instead of spending $8 on a 6-pack, you're spending $16 on a 4-pack. Right. And I'm like, wait a minute here.
It's true though. I mean, it's pricey.
And it got overwhelming. So I started buying some wines, and I had no idea what I was doing, right? I was just picking up cool labels, reading the labels.
85% of people pick their wines by the label.
I believe that.
For sure. I can see that. I mean, that's the first thing you see. It's like, okay, what's going to catch your eye?
Right.
Let's give it a try.
Does it look cool? All right.
Sweet.
Give it a shot.
Scoop it up. Price is good?
Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
Depending on what you're doing.
Right. So I did that, and I started drinking some wine, and I just, it didn't catch me just as much as, because right around the same time is when I started really getting into whiskey, and,
here we are.
To each their own. But this is really, really good.
I think wine's more romantic than any other alcohols.
I can agree with that, yeah.
Yeah.
You go to people... when I used to work in retail, I used to have people come over and go, hey, I had this bottle of wine. I was in Napa Valley for our 50th anniversary. I think there's something wrong with it. It doesn't taste the same. And I'll ask them, okay, sometimes they open up a bottle and they'd go, yeah, it still doesn't taste the same. I'm like, okay, where were you? What was the occasion? And, it's all a romance. It's the occasion, it's
that's
where you're
fair.
at. And it enhances everything.
For sure, because everything's heightened.
Right.
So
yeah, that's super fair.
Like, it depends on the mood you're in. And that works with anything, really. Like what you're smelling.
Another thing. You get you're visiting down in Kentucky, and you try whiskey, and it just, you're with your boys. It's
you're having a great
smoke
time.
A cigar, and you come home and pop it open, and you pour it, and you're like, it just doesn't.
Yeah, you don't have that
feel
same.
to it.
Exactly.
We'll
makes a lot of sense.
Is we'll drink we'll bust out a couple reviews, and like our limit is 3. Like once we do 3 reviews, then they all become freaking 9s and 10s because we're feeling great.
Right. Yeah, you're feeling phenomenal.
Like,
your palate shot too, because everything's
like
it tastes the same. You're like, well, I'm not picking up anything anymore.
But like I'll go back to one of those bottles that I rated, super high. I'm like,
that kind of
it's good, but
it's not what I remember it being.
It's good, but
then it's on the other end too. Sometimes you try something for the first time, and you're like, oh, this is give that like a 6.
Yeah.
And then you try it again. I don't know, a few weeks later, and all of a sudden you're like,
up a little
holy
bit.
shit, this is actually really good. This is 100 times better than I thought it was.
And wine's like that too, because if we had a little more expensive wine and it needs time to breathe, and you pop it and drink it, you taste it an hour later, it's completely changed.
Yeah. Let it breathe for a while, and it makes all the difference.
You're right, though. I think wine is much more romantic, and I don't know if it's the so for example, wine, I would think that the consumer base of wine is heavy on the female aspect versus male. Now, it's probably not as skewed as I think.
I think it also comes with age too. Like, because you think about it, like if you were like at a party or something, for example, and the girls are all drinking wine together, we're probably drinking beers, right?
Right.
So, I mean, that's
bourbons, beers.
Yeah, exactly. But I think like if you're sitting at home with your wife, you guys have dinner, you're having some Italian, it's a nice romantic night, you got the candlelight lit dinner going and everything, like crack open a nice bottle of wine.
I'm liking the scene.
You feeling it?
Yeah.
It's comfortable, isn't it?
What are we eating?
Well, just
depends on the bottle of wine.
Yeah, so we got some fettuccine Alfredo.
Okay, so what are we drinking with fettuccine Alfredo?
Something red.
Some red? Okay, so we're going red for sure. Candles lit. The kids got a babysitter for the night.
Noir.
Pinot Noir could work. It's a little light for that creaminess, but
it's just
it was nice. It was good. It sounded fantastic.
I have a great ripasso from Italy that's perfect for that.
Now see, there we go. And then he comes up with that bottle. What'd you say? Whoa. It's like like a bourbon bottle right here.
Really?
It is.
Nice and heavy.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
You know,
You got the Pro Cup on the bottom. Remember the baseball bats back in the day? You had the Pro Cup.
Yeah.
But no, look at that. That's a bottle right there. Like just looking at that, that's gonna catch your eye.
The bad thing
That's
about
a
this
really
bottle
cool
is
looking
it's
bottle.
empty because it's so heavy. You think you still got wine to the left and you're pouring. It's like, oh, so good.
Yeah.
Or you can't tell the difference, and all of a sudden you go,
Wow.
yeah, that thing's heavy.
Feels good in the hand though.
Oh yeah.
That's what she said.
But yeah, I mean, you get the.
This is a really cool bottle.
It is. That's something that's gonna
Got a
catch your
cool
eye though. It's got a
little
lot
logo
going on with it.
there.
That's a great bottle too.
I can't read
It did
anything
very
on
well
it, so
for
it's
us.
got to be good.
$24.
This one's
and
Italian?
It's 24.
Yep.
I'm assuming
It
Italian.
It is Italian,
yeah, I'm just saying, just by
it
the-
says product of Italy. I can read.
It gives it away.
I could read good.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think age definitely has plays a part in it. I mean, 21 and 22-year-olds probably aren't buying a ton of good wines.
That's what the wine world is worried about. Is the kids in that 22 to 30 aren't drinking as much wine. They're drinking more of these seltzers. And
Yeah, seltzers kind
And you're
of
right.
taking the world by
Yeah, the
storm.
seltzers for sure, man.
Yeah.
They're. I mean, I've gotten there. I'll have one for the first time. Like, this is phenomenal. Then I have it again, and it's just like,
I can't get into the seltzers.
I can't. It doesn't
I
taste like
mean,
anything.
even in summer.
I could do it for like a
I'll
day. Like
do
I said, like
one.
you could do like a cookout or something, or like a party. You could have one or two, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, this is.
If I'm going to use
The
100
second-
calories, I'm going to go get a scrimshaw or something.
Yeah.
A nice Pilsner or...
Yeah, because I mean, it's good. Like I said, for one, and then all of a sudden you get into the next one. It's like then it's sweet.
Yeah.
It sits there. You like the first few sips are good, and then it starts getting like, it's like any one of those sweet drinks, like a twisted tea or something.
Yeah.
Starts off great, and then if you let it sit for too long and it gets just a little warmer,
Yep.
it's garbage.
undrinkable.
Yep.
It's undrinkable.
There's a bunch
You're
of
right.
half full
Yeah.
cans or bottles sitting around, and it's like, okay,
I mean, they're doing something right because people are drinking them. I mean, they're all over the place, and it used to be there was like two,
That's
right?
that's
it
the
was like
drink.
White Claw and
It's like it's like I mean that's a drink for young people.
yeah.
You go to a party, that's the drink.
Well, somehow they made it cool, right? Like, because for years we have Zima and
Smirnoff,
Mike's Hard Lemonade, right? And like those are the three.
Just
and,
heartburn
like,
central
you
right
bring
there.
those to a party, you're getting made fun of.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Now you can bring some White Claws, and it's like ain't no laws when you're drinking claws.
That dude's badass. All the chicks are just taking their tops off and like, oh God, you see how hot he is? He just brought some Corona
How long is it gonna
seltzers.
last,
Oh my God, he's got black cherry.
So hard to find these days.
This is the 4th year of it. How long is it going to
Has
last?
it been that long?
And-
Yeah, I guess.
but
that's
how
probably
many
right.
are there? Like, there's so many. Everybody's got them. Everybody's jumping
All
on
the
board.
beer companies
there's
are doing it.
There's 100 new ones getting released like last year into this year. So that,
100.
that pie is so small now. It's
I mean, look, if something's working, I guess jump on the train. But
Right.
like, how long is it going to last? Because it's just not.
well.
good
Look, you look at your
alcohol.
father's root beer. Remember that?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
They
I
still
forgot
do
about that.
Pallets of that stuff. Now you can't even find it.
yeah. That's true.
I forgot about that stuff. Yeah, because then they got like they make a ginger ale one.
I think so. They had all kinds of random stuff. Like
Yeah.
that Henry's had like the hard sodas, like the
yeah.
orange
Grape
soda.
and
Grape
orange
soda, yeah. And then Henry's had their seltzers were, I think those were my favorite out of all of them because they
Those
weren't
were good.
sweet. They weren't
Yeah.
sweet at all. And it was like, it tastes like a LaCroix. I'm like, okay, it's refreshing.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a cookout, like if I'm on the grill,
Mm-hmm.
Corona and lime.
Right.
Solid.
You know what I mean? In the
Can't
middle of
beat
the summer,
it. Yeah.
Ice cold.
yeah, you have
Perfect.
you got the music going, you're on the
Little
grill.
cerveza while you're grilling.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I like when I'm grilling. Summer party, that's a beer is just classic.
100%.
And you can't go to big IPAs if it's
No,
100
you
degrees
can't.
outside.
You can't do that. That's
Right.
that's just not one of those things. I mean, some people
was
maybe.
that guy.
Yeah. See, I was more like, I could grab like a light beer, like something that just goes down like water when it's hot out like that. Like you just get finished doing like mowing the lawn, doing yard work.
Yeah.
And an ice cold beer, like a light beer, it's basically having water,
Right.
and it's so crisp, and it's just. Oh.
I used to keep Mick Ultras in my fridge, in my garage.
God, we got big into
fridge.
Mick Ultras last year.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. I
Like,
mean,
we were
for
in-
a while there in the summer, it was pour bourbon and have a Mick Ultra.
We had to stay hydrated.
Yeah. Right. So
Yeah, Mick Ultra is basically water. So I mean, we were staying hydrated at the same time.
just
we
being
were
responsible.
that's it right there. We were in Arizona last year.
Oh, yeah.
And we just drank Mick Ultras the whole time. Like that's all we drank. We were at the pool. We were drinking. We went to the bars
Yeah.
We're getting Mick
even
Ultras.
ordering
And
them,
I've never got a Mick
Yeah.
Ultra at a bar before, but that's what we were doing.
But we were drinking for 14 hours a day.
Well, so here's what happened. We got there at like, what time did, so he had been there for a couple of days. And then 3 of us landed, like 9 in the morning,
So we go out there for the Waste Management Open.
which is supposed to be going next month, but doesn't look like it's
see.
happening. But we get there at like 9 in the morning. We get to the place that we're staying, or condo or whatever it is. And we get there, and Ian's got like a bunch of Mick Ultras. He's like, hey, we want to head to the pool. We're going to grill out. We had burgers and bacon. And like, we get there and we're playing ping pong. It's like, what, 10, 11?
Probably like 80 degrees at 10 a.m. And you guys were coming from 20 degrees.
Yeah. And we get there, and it's glorious because we get there, and without the family, it's just the guys. It's a guys trip, man. And we get there, and it's like cracking the beers. We're grilling out. We're playing ping pong. We're next to the pool.
Glorious.
God, it sounds so
That was
amazing
such a
right
good
now.
It feels like so long ago to be able to go on vacation or anything.
Right?
Yeah.
And that was just at the start of things. Like, COVID had just started, really. And like, because I remember we were flying out to Arizona, and there were cases. Like, they're like, oh, there's a few cases in Arizona. Like, all right. So we brought masks with us on the flight, but we didn't even wear them. We had them for like a picture that we took, and then we looked around the plane, and no one else had them on. So we're like, fine.
All right.
But it was happening, but we weren't really afraid. We weren't worried about it. And then fast forward to now, it's like,
Yeah.
you don't want to travel. You don't want to go anywhere. We're watching. We're
Right.
looking at these states to see like, what they're at. Like,
Yeah, we're looking at their positivity numbers.
and like,
all right,
we
can
were supposed to be in
go?
Kentucky, and it was like, what are they up to? Like 17 now?
26.
Oh, we went up to 26.
Yeah.
So a few weeks ago, we looked at it. It was like, what?
It was 17.
17.
It was 17.
So we're like,
2
we were
weeks ago.
teetering. Like, we were right there, because if it was at 15, right?
Yeah.
If we traveled when we came home, the kids wouldn't be able to go to school for 2 weeks. So we were kind of watching, and all of a sudden it just blew up. So we canceled that trip. And then we have Arizona coming up in February.
Yep.
And that's, what are their numbers at?
They're huge. They're big,
They're
aren't
at
they?
16 right now.
Oh, they went down.
Yeah,
They went down.
a little
But
bit.
they're still, but they were lower and then came back up.
Yeah, so it's like a rolling 7-day total or average. And so, I don't know. I've heard that the last couple days were kind of rough in Arizona, so I'm not too
It's not looking good.
positive about what their numbers are going to look like next week.
What are
I
you
don't
doing
know.
for the Phoenix Open? Are they playing?
They're
They're having it,
playing
but in limited crowd.
Yeah.
So how many people are usually at that?
So typically,
You know the numbers
last
on
year,
that.
so like 7 or 8 years in a row, they've set records. Like they beat their own records. Last year, they had almost 300,000 people for the weekend. Friday and Saturday, their biggest days.
How many people can get on the 16th? Do you know what the number is for that?
I don't.
Because we were, so we
the thing
get
I
there
wanna
at like
see.
It's amazing.
5 in the morning or something like that, and we were in line, and I can show you a video of it. Just waiting at the front gate to get in. The amount of people
running.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but waiting just to get into that part before you start running to that spot, like
5 a.m., 3 drinks deep, and you're running
Full
in
sprint.
pitch black, and like the
There's dew
sprinklers
on the
are
grass.
going on, and there's dew, so people are falling everywhere. It's
and
hilarious.
it's a golf course, so I mean, you're like, there's
Yeah.
hills, it's just chaos.
And it's huge, by the way. Like,
Can you
I mean,
imagine?
Golf courses are big, but like,
That's
especially
like a half mile away from the
like we
from the
scouted
gate.
the day before.
Yeah,
But, like
our-
we didn't
our
know where
route.
the hell we were going. You know?
As much as we talked about it, we're like, we're gonna go this way,
Yeah.
we're gonna go here. Okay, remember this spot right here. As soon as we started running, I had no idea where I was.
The gate opened up and it's pitch black, and
Yeah.
there's people everywhere.
So when you get there, you have 2 options. You could go left or right. Well, everybody just goes, you don't know which way you're going. So we just ran straight. And luckily I ran into you halfway through.
yeah,
I
because you
still have
thought
no idea.
you thought everyone was ahead of you, and then we caught up to you.
Because I
You're
started
like,
slowing
"Oh,
down. I'm
what
like,
the hell?"
okay, we're not going to get there. And we had front row
We
seats.
ended up front row seats.
Really?
At 16, yeah.
Because we found a spot the day before. We're like, maybe people aren't going to really be going into this little entrance right here because they want to get up in the top. That's where everybody was
right
going.
around the green, yeah.
So if you go onto the side, not as many people there. We were front row.
We
It
were
was
front
perfect,
row,
man.
like right in front of like they have it sectioned off to where there's like the section that goes around the green, and then the section in the fairway. So we were all the way in the fairway section, but the first section next to the green section.
Right.
So we saw. I mean, it was perfect.
It was amazing. It was such a cool thing to do. It's definitely a bucket list thing to do.
Right.
Like, and we knew like this year was going to be a lot different, obviously. But can you imagine that many people in one spot? Like,
So they're not doing that. I
no,
know.
yeah, there's no chance.
So they sold tickets for the first time ever. So even like you buy your general admission, and then you had to buy.
you buy a 16.
You're 16, and so it's very ticketed, and they're only letting a certain amount of people in at a time. I don't know exactly how it's going to go.
Let me think
It's
about it.
gonna
That was
be
the
much-
last big
it's
thing
gonna be
we've
very
done.
different.
We did.
Yeah,
That was the last big thing. The last time we were around a big crowd.
Yeah.
Because right after that was March, and then
Yep.
Everything's cut off.
Bottom fell out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quick.
Look at the NFL playoffs right now.
Yeah.
There's 12,000, 10,000.
Yeah.
The Browns game is going to be the largest crowd of all the playoffs when you have 17,000.
Is that what they're having, 17 in Kansas City?
I heard on the radio they think it's going to be about 50-50 split.
I know
heard
of
it
two
at
people
KC.
personally that are going.
$800.
I know a couple
average,
people, yeah.
Average seat.
Yeah, Liz's cousin Amanda's going.
Oh, really?
I got a snap from her earlier. She's just already partying. She's there, and I think she's paid $600 for her ticket.
That'd be cool to do.
I mean, you got to do it if you have the chance.
Yeah, sure.
It's like one of those things. It's like,
I know a couple of people.
might as well
that are
do it,
going.
man. Because I mean, can you imagine being there?
Well,
And say the
stimulus
Browns
money,
win.
You know, I'm getting stimulus money.
Yeah, right.
There you go. That was it.
Right,
The stimulus
right.
money right into the ticket.
What'll be interesting is, they can move forward. And as you get closer, like how many more people are going to say, "Fuck it, I'm going."
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's been
Probably a lot of
30
people.
years since the Browns were actually.
Right. Yeah. So crazy.
It is, man.
What a fun time.
Just think about this too. It's like the Browns game, that Monday Night Football. Was it Monday? When we played.
The Baltimore game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like no crowds anywhere. Everything's closed. There is a curfew.
Mm-hmm.
And DeWine's like, but we
lift
could
it.
we could lift that for the Browns game.
can't
Let's
catch
get
COVID at the Browns game.
Let's just how many people
I
were
tell you
there?
what, though, we went
12.
to
12.
yeah,
12,000
we went
people
to
there?
the first Browns game.
That was
We had an
6,000
opportunity
people,
to go.
right?
Yeah, there was 6,000 people, and they did such a good job. Like legit, did such a good job of keeping people separate, and like there was no congregating like in like the open areas or anything like we saw some people we knew.
Yeah, minimal. It was
said
minimal.
hi for like, I don't know, a couple minutes, whatever, and then went back to our seats. But it was an awesome experience. Yeah, I don't know. It's insane. I wonder if these crowds, especially for a team like the Browns, who's not going to have a home game regardless.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
I wonder if that helps them.
Not
the
having
Pittsburgh game was quiet, and that helped them. They said.
You got to think that it would, right? I mean,
How many people were at the Ohio State game?
I don't know.
It sounded loud, but I couldn't tell how many people were there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think,
Obviously, I wouldn't be able to look
all
at a
the
crowd and know how many
college
people were
games
there.
were just friends and family, or like family of the players and staff and things like that.
Well,
I
know
don't know
there-
that for sure.
I do know that I have a friend of the family who was at the game, but they.
At the Ohio State game,
Mhm.
yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe they
Yeah.
just knew somebody and they got tickets
Right,
somehow,
right.
and they were like in a loge or something. What do we got here?
So this is the Washington State
This
one.
is City Limits. This is the secondary label to two vintners. Their winemaker, Morgan Lee. He's a younger guy. He's a rock star winemaker. Makes unbelievable wine.
Okay.
He's going to be here hopefully this summer if COVID lifts a little bit. Doing a bunch of wine dinners and tasting wines.
cool.
And so it's going to be cool.
That's fun.
So let me ask you this. So let's get into your kids real quick. So you have two daughters.
Right.
Ages
13 and 10.
13 and 10. And they're both soccer players.
Yep.
So were they always into soccer right off the rip? Like, or was it, did you try a bunch of other stuff?
What's funny is I coached basketball, varsity girls basketball for 20 years.
Oh, shit. Wow.
And
We're at.
Chardon, Berkshire, and NDCL was where I was last.
Oh, okay.
They have no interest in basketball.
Naturally.
My oldest played 1 year and hated it.
Yeah.
And she's 5'8", 13 years old. So she, runs like a deer.
Yeah.
She'd be perfect playing basketball. Hates it. Played volleyball for a year. It was okay, but she was bored. Play soccer. They both play soccer, but both play on club teams.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. It's what they love to do. Whatever they want to do. I don't care.
Absolutely. And it's funny too, because like you were so into basketball, like you said,
Right.
you're coaching, and it's like my girls are gonna be basketball players. And then next thing, like,
When they were born, I was like, "Are you sure you don't want to play?" And they're like, "Nah, Dad, I really hate it." I'm like, "Whatever you guys want to do."
Yeah,
I don't
hey.
care.
I think that's a good attitude to have. I mean, I know like the thing that I want more than anything is my son to be a baseball player, right? I love baseball. One of my biggest regrets is pursuing football over baseball. And, I've gone into that a little bit on the podcast before, but baseball, I just love the game. I love the teamwork aspect. I love the patience. And I love the idea that like you can be good at your craft and succeed 30% of the time, because that just shows you how freaking hard that game is.
You get millions.
And well, right, yeah,
Yeah, true.
and they have guaranteed contracts, which is great.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
But I mean, even from a little league or playing in high school or something like that, I think that I learned, you know, so I was in the Marine Corps. I still think that I learned more leadership skills. Okay, maybe not more. The foundation of leadership, which I'm a big leadership guy, came from playing baseball. Because you have to work as a team, like on defense. Like when you're in the field, like you got to know what's going on, and you're communicating through signs, and you're communicating through repetitions, and so, like you have to have a good relationship with your middle infield and your corners, and your catchers got to, you know, all that kind of stuff. I love that idea of baseball. And so far, like my son loves baseball. I don't know if it's going to continue. Like he's really upset this year that so he's 5, he won't turn 6 until June. And you got to be 7 to do Mighty Mites.
Really? Since when?
They don't make exceptions at all, or
Is that just that league? Because I mean, we played Mighty Mites at 5.
5, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I said. No, it's T-ball up until they're 7.
So that's new then.
So he's got to do. This will be his 3rd year of T-ball.
T-ball is.
And
so I never played
so
T-ball.
Upset about it.
I was straight into coach pitch.
Same.
And I mean, you could see the kids just being so bored with T-ball. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's good to learn how to play the game, but
Good
like
for a year.
But they're bored, man. Like my son is just like, okay, well, if I'm not batting, well, then I'm sitting in the field.
Well,
and
they don't play defense, right? There's
they're all fighting each other to get the ball, which I understand because I still remember being 5 years old, a little bit, and like sitting in the dirt. I just remember pouring. Guys, I remember the dirt. Okay.
Yeah, you were 14.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're on the freshman team, man. Steve, get off the ground. I'm at shortstop, just pouring dirt on my pants. I always wanted to get dirty with, you know, because I'm like, otherwise I'm like, my pants are getting dirty. And these pants are made for grass stains and dirt.
It's true.
But yeah, man, I mean, it was boring.
Yeah.
It was tough. Like that's what the tough thing about baseball is getting the kids interested in it because it's not that fast paced game like
slow.
Basketball or soccer.
Well,
like you're constantly
about patience.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Wait
patience.
for your pitch.
Yeah,
but you look at kids anymore, don't have patience.
No.
Everything's right in front of their face.
I know. That's
like,
the tough thing,
on their
man.
phones. It's right there.
It's instant gratification with everything.
Right. I think that's why I love the game even more now is because it forces you to slow down, and I love that. But I was really upset that I couldn't get him into Mighty Mites because I was like, look, I want to start getting into the rules of the game.
Right.
Right? Because they don't do any of that. It's like, and I understand it's fundamentals.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's not even fundamentals. It's your put a ball on tee and swing at it and run.
Because I mean, like the only thing they were doing is being
And
like,
then
hey,
stop it first.
Stop it first.
You can't even
and get the ball to first. Yeah,
you know. And I get it. And
you learn the layout of the land there. You figure out like where the bases are and all that. But you get there, stop. Get the second stop. And it's just it's the whole team bats. When it's 95 degrees outside and the kids are in the field waiting for 12 kids to bat. It's like
even a seltzer will taste good then.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. Give me whatever.
Yeah. I'll take anything at this point.
In every sport though, like even like soccer, you have rec where you know they don't not supposed to keep score, even though my kids kept score all the time.
You have to.
Yeah.
You know, football. You know, just flag football.
Yeah.
And I think there's a version of that everywhere, but
No, and I get it. I'm all about instructional leagues that introduce a sport and again fundamentals or
just learning it
of that, whatever. I'm good with that.
But there's a percentage of kids they're too good for that.
Yeah.
So you're holding those kids back because they're 5 years old.
This will be now his 3rd year of T-ball, and what I'm worried about is that we're gonna have to get an exception next year because his birthday's after
He's
the
still
cutoff.
there, yeah.
Like, there's no way he's gonna play 4 years of T-ball. Like, that's just outrageous.
He'll just be done.
There's no way he'll
hate
keep
the game,
he will lose interest if he's got to hit off a tee or just stop at first.
Because how fun is it getting extra base hit?
Oh, it's the best.
All right. I mean,
I can make that.
Yeah.
Got no arm over there in right field.
All day you're screaming that. You're just screaming that from the stands. Right field doesn't have an arm. Run on him all day.
Get
all
on your
day.
Horse.
Yeah.
Third baseman's crazy. Oh, I can get the second.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's just interesting to see how the kids figure out what they like, though. Like, you have this image of what you want them to do.
Right.
Like, I want my kid to play baseball. I don't know if it's in the cards. Like, I don't know if it's going to happen. Whatever. But I want him to experience all the different sports and kind of see what works. But I also don't want to be like one and done.
Right.
Right? Like, you do a
Give it a
year
real
of
shot.
soccer and be like, you know what, I'm done with soccer. Okay, you don't have to play anymore. You don't have to do it. Like, no, let's just try it a couple times and see if it's something that catches and sticks with you. Like, that's...
Well, I think for kids too, it's so important that they, this is going to sound crazy, but have fun.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Like like Steve and I met each other on a baseball field when we were 5 years old.
Pouring dirt on each other. And
Yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
But like we went through those
With our
years
microphones.
where we played and we were on, even if we weren't on the same team, like it was fun to play. And then because
You play against them. Or,
yeah, you're playing against somebody, but every other day during the week we're riding our bikes up to the field and we're playing pickup games and like
play running
that was what we
bases or home run
did,
derby
you
or
know?
something. Yeah.
that's the thing I think the kids aren't getting anymore.
No.
When I was a kid, like I lived in the country, but we had about 10 kids that were all our same age or close. We'd get together all day long during the summertime and play ball, baseball, football, basketball.
Anything you could do. I mean, you were having like,
all we did.
I wouldn't see my mom all day.
Yeah.
no, you wouldn't. And then it was like, okay, go home for dinner.
Yep.
You're back out again. You're having like time trials on, like on the bikes and stuff like that, trying anything, like just
Yeah.
anything you could get into. You were doing it.
Whichever one of your friends has the floodlight on the garage that you can actually play basketball later.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's all we did, man. It was the
What you're
best.
doing.
Pickup game of anything. Like that was so much fun. You're playing one bounce
33.
or 33. You're
Yeah.
playing home run derby. You're playing baseball with ghost runners, and like you can only hit the right field because you don't have
we
enough
used
people to
play
cover the whole
full
field.
games of baseball with, some shitty tennis ball that you found.
That was the most fun tennis ball.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, man.
100%.
I got a lot
you
more power at
crush
tennis
it,
balls.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there would be four of you, and you have ghost runners, and
Yeah,
all
and
that
you're like,
kind of
if you
stuff.
hit the right field or if you hit the left field, you're out.
yeah.
You have the guys on one side of the field because you don't have enough guys.
Right.
You play 2-on-2, like you play baseball, right?
And we did all the time.
Yeah.
All the
The
time.
place where my babysitter lived when I was in elementary school, they had a cul-de-sac, and the dad in the one house painted the bases in the cul-de-sac.
Oh, that's
It was a
awesome.
baseball field, and we would always play baseball games over there. It was amazing. God, that was so fun, man.
Yeah.
Always playing football, something. But you don't, like you said, you don't really see that anymore. Remember the parks back in the day? You wanted to go to like Bellflower Park, for example. You're like, try to go get on the basketball, like on the court.
Oh, you had to
You're
wait
not
for
getting on the court.
hours.
Right.
You're not getting on the court.
hours.
Baseball field was being used.
There was like another
Soccer field was being used for
involved.
football, or like
Remember
yeah.
that? Like you used to go and you'd bring candy and shit like that and be like, hey yo. Let me jump you in line.
get
Let me get
next?
it. Let me
Yeah,
get next.
who's got next?
Here's
I got some
Mambas.
Smarties, bro.
I got
Smarties,
some Mambas.
ugh.
I got Mambas, bro.
All right. Hey,
Now
we're
you
gonna,
go to a park and there's no one there.
it's empty. It's just older people walking. That's what it
Couple
is.
Moms
Or
pushing
people with
their babies in
dogs.
swings.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. It is what I don't know. I think that there's more leagues and more instructional things, which
It's
is
a lot more
good.
travel now than it ever used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
for
my
sure, for
kids
sure.
do, the instructional basketball, and he's going to start flag football in the spring, and then baseball in the summer, t-ball in the summer. But, I don't know. It just seems like there's, and again, our kids are a little bit young for it still.
For sure. When did you get into football?
I didn't play football until, I played like peewee football.
Yeah. When did you start
when I was
that?
like probably 7 or 8.
I was in 4th grade when I started.
Fourth. Okay.
But then I hated it, and I left, and I didn't play football anymore until 7th grade. I got to middle school, and
I wanted
remember
it. I should have
Coach
played.
Heller.
Yeah.
Coach Heller convinced me to go play, and I had an amazing time doing it.
I never
Nice.
played football. I played baseball. That was it. When I got into high school, I think it was my sophomore year, we had tryouts. And Triv came to our tryouts, and we were doing our 40 times. And
He's getting faster, by the way.
I used
He's so
to have some speed back in the day.
Still do.
Hurts. But
Father time takes a little longer to recover now.
yeah, yeah. I can't breathe either. But I remember doing that, and then Triv comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, why don't you come out and play football for me?" And I was thinking, I'm like, I should definitely do that. That'd be awesome. But I just never did. I just stuck with baseball. Because I was thinking, I'm like, you know how high school sports are. It's so involved. Like, I can't imagine playing multiple. Like, I played baseball. I had something with baseball year round. You start in September and you start conditioning, and that goes through March when you try out. And then you start practicing. You play your school league, summer league, then fall league, and then you start back to conditioning again. Right. It was like, so I'm like, I can't imagine playing 2 sports. And I mean, there was guys that we know that did that.
Yeah, I played 2 sports, but you know,
I mean, you could break it up.
All
obviously,
the pro athletes and coaches, kids should play multiple sports.
Yeah,
and I've tried getting my daughters to play multiple sports. They want nothing to do with it. Yeah. They play soccer 12 months a year.
Yeah.
So
in hindsight, I wish I did. There's a lot of things I wish I did differently. Obviously,
man, like it all works out, right?
Yeah.
Got that fun, like we talked about earlier.
That was the other thing too. Is I saw in the summer, like at the end of the summer vacation, like you guys wouldn't be able to hang out until
we'd have 2 days.
Yeah. So it's like end of the summer. It was like when I hang out, I can't until 3 o'clock.
Right.
I'm like, fuck, I'll be sleeping in then. Because at the end of the summer when you guys started 2-a-days, my baseball season had just ended. So I'm like, now it's time to relax and just do whatever I want for a little while.
Even that concept, like that's why sports and athletics in general is so good for kids, right? It's teaching you responsibility. Yeah. I have something to do other than wake up and go to school, right?
So.
I think that's just amazing for kids to understand. I mean, because I remember having to adjust everything, like work schedule, because I always worked, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean that was the other thing, trying to figure out work.
Yeah, I had to adjust my work schedules because I had 2-a-days and things like that at the end of summer.
Yeah, because I mean, once baseball season started, it was like I could only work Sundays because that was the only day we had off from baseball. It was other than that, it was every single day. And but I love doing that, man. I was busy, but we still found time to hang out with our friends and do what we wanted to do.
Well, we also had more energy, I guess.
True, but going back to
responsibility,
kids have unlimited energy.
Unlimited, just run circles around you.
Dying for that.
I'm dying to have the 18-year-old energy, man.
Just for a day, I'd love to have.
Right. I get so much done.
Can you even imagine what you would get done?
No.
My house would be amazing.
I could probably catch up on my honeydew list if I had.
Yeah, right.
Right, that list is
that never ending.
Right.
Yeah, and the stuff just keeps getting added to it.
You know what's crazy is I'm building a house right now, and so we've been in an apartment since August, I think.
Oh, this is good.
And, so I have not had a honeydew list in forever, and it's been amazing.
Enjoy it,
but it's
you still miss that yard work.
Yeah, I'm like, well, shit, what am I supposed to be doing here? And then
Come
everything
over.
else,
I could find something.
I got plenty to do for you, man. I got a list.
But it's funny, like all the other stuff slacks now because I got very used to, like I would put more time into work or whatever it was. I'm doing a lot more stuff with the podcast, which is fantastic. I'm not complaining about that at all. But like normal stuff, I'm like, well, I don't have anything to do tomorrow. I'll get that done tomorrow. You know, I'll catch up.
Put
on
it on the back
tomorrow.
burner. We'll do it tomorrow.
Like,
and it just keeps piling up, man.
I was actually trying to have a conversation with my kids about it today. I'm like, listen, we're like 2 months out from our house being done. Shit's gonna change. Like we are not leaving shit out. We are not doing this.
It's gonna be
Chelsea just looking at me like,
right, yeah.
Like we're gonna break that habit overnight.
No, the only habit that's gonna change is yours.
Yes, yes, that is true.
That's when all the chores start again.
I'm excited for that though.
Yeah, man.
I need it.
Apartment living's cool for a little while.
It sucks.
I did it for 6 months, and before we got our house, and it was like I didn't have to do anything, and it was kind of nice. But then I think it was kind of bored. Like I remember doing like my wife would work on the weekends. Like she would work all day Sunday. I remember deciding to start Game of Thrones, and I'll never forget it, man. Sunday morning, I wake up, she leaves, and I just sit on the couch. I plop down on the couch in the morning, and I start Game of Thrones. And then I get hungry, and then I order pizza and all kinds of other shit. And then I just sit there, and I'm going through like a whole season, you know. The next thing I know, it's dark outside, and then my wife comes home, and I'm like, she turns on the light, I'm like,
show up.
Yeah. Then Ian comes over, we watch the new episode. But yeah, man, it was just pure laziness. That was before kids too, so I mean, I had nothing to do.
Times were different.
I had nothing going on.
Worst ending though.
Worst ending.
Worst ever of any show ever. Worst ending.
How many times did you watch it?
The ending? Twice.
Twice? Okay. So you watched the whole way through twice?
Yep.
And the second time you didn't think it was any better?
No.
Did you?
I thought
they
right
cut short.
when-
Everything was short.
right
The whole
when pandemic started and everything was like really locked down.
Did you watch it again then?
I watched the whole thing over again.
The whole show?
The whole series,
Shit.
start to finish.
That's
I
a
was
commitment.
doing like 2 or 3 episodes a night. Like once everyone went to bed, I was like, I thought it was better the second time around.
Okay.
I don't know if my
You probably picked up a lot more
Expectation
too.
went down a little bit.
maybe, but think about it. Season 8 came out 2 years after season 7.
Right.
So I think the downfall was the buildup because
Yeah,
season 8
high
is
expectations.
actually pretty solid. How it ended, sure, I could, in hindsight, I would like to see some different things, but it's pretty cool how they did it. Like if you go into it with an open
extended it more than
mind,
they did.
yeah, it felt a little bit rushed.
It just seemed like the way they ended it too. It's like, okay, asshole, 3-eyed raven asshole that knew everything.
Why do you think I'm here?
Yeah, I don't know, to become the king, you asshole, because he knew everything that was going on. You could have avoided a shit ton of stuff from a lot of people dying.
Give him a heads up. Hey,
Hey, man, this is what's going down, right? Come on, man. The kid.
I think because I binged the second time around, right? Like I watched the first time I watched the series, it was season by season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you had a lot of time to analyze and everything in between. Binge watching it from start to, and I finished the whole freaking series in
You probably
like
pick up a lot more
a
though.
month. It was like a month long that I did from start to finish.
That's pretty impressive.
And when you watch it in succession like that, it's pretty freaking good.
How much did you hate Joffrey the moment you saw him for the second time? Like when
The
you
second
get introduced
time?
into it, like you just be like, this kid's the worst right away. Kid's such an asshole.
Yeah, he's awful. But I think that, again, the second time around, you start, since you already know what's going to happen, you start looking at other details. And I was looking at that as more, man, this kid's good.
Oh,
Like
played a great
as an
character.
actor, like
Right.
he.
Oh,
did
no, he's
so,
phenomenal.
like, he's the worst. And I was just
the
like,
worst.
Oh
No,
my God,
phenomenal
it's so
actor. He did a
good.
great job as that character.
Yeah,
It was the
like,
worst. He was the biggest asshole.
You love to hate that character.
And you didn't feel bad when he died either.
No, not
No,
at
you
all.
cheered it on. It was
Right.
almost like when
Yeah.
Carl went in Walking
Fuck
Dead.
Carl.
Yeah, right? I've been saying it for years.
That show's still on,
This is the last year for that.
is it?
You still
know,
watching it?
I'm trying to.
I started
But
as soon as
when they got rid of Rick.
See, I stopped
I
before
lost
that.
it. Like,
Or
it-
right when they got rid of him, I think is when I stopped.
because the comic is still going on and
Yeah,
Rick's
yeah.
still alive. I'm like, it's not the same shit.
Yeah.
Right.
I started watching it up until they introduced that alpha character.
Right.
I don't even think
As
I
soon
saw that.
So they had like these whispering
Where,
zombies, like they're like
they wear like the skins.
they're
of
disguised as zombies. Now let me just tell you what I think about those people for a second. Now imagine you're in that group, right? And you're like, okay, our whole thing is we're gonna blend in with the zombies. We're gonna soak ourselves in zombie blood and wear skin.
Right.
Can you imagine traveling from place to place with the zombies?
No.
That would take a full day to get from A to B.
A mile down the road.
You're like, and they're like, you have to limp down the road. Like,
Dude, why do they
hold
limp
on.
for?
Hold on.
Why are they limping?
I would
That's the
just
one thing
sprint up ahead of
understand.
everybody. They're like,
Hold
you
on.
already smell like
Hold
them and
on.
everything.
Hold on. We are living through a pandemic right now. We have nothing to do. I can see.
But dude, you
Taking some
can't even
extra
talk to
time.
each other though.
I don't know. I'm just
Can you
trying-
imagine?
I- you know me, I just like to make an argument.
And I appreciate
That'd be
that. I
miserable.
appreciate that. But I mean, come on, man. You're like, all right, I could see where we're going. But come on, man. It would be freaking terrible.
So wait, because again, I stopped before. What's it called? Alpha.
Alpha's the new bad guy.
Okay.
So there's this
wait,
new group.
Negan's not a bad guy.
No, he's still
gone.
with
He's
them.
still there, but he's not really a bad guy anymore.
Yeah, he was like imprisoned by like I don't even know what their group's called, but like Rick and all those people, right?
Right.
And
Do I need to watch this again?
I don't know. They have a couple
Dude,
spin-offs,
it
don't
was
they?
really good.
The younger spinoff is really good.
Oh, really?
Like I was surprised. The first year, it was actually
No,
well
no,
done.
the Fear of the Walking Dead,
No,
or
there's
no?
another one.
Oh, okay.
It's a bunch of young kids that are going through it.
Oh.
So that one's good. Maybe I'll get into it. I don't know. I just couldn't get. I hated that character, Alpha. I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't see it. I couldn't like you go from like the governor, and then Negan, who's like the ultimate asshole.
What a good character.
Phenomenal. The guy was amazing.
He's awesome.
He's phenomenal, and he's hilarious while he's being the worst person in the world. And then you move on to this alpha chick, and it's like, I just can't. I stopped watching it. I was done at that point.
After Alpha isn't there anymore. No spoilers.
That's fine.
It gets better. It did get better.
And she ruined it for me. And then I have these people that I work with that still watched it, and they would talk about it. I'm like, nah, I don't really care. I'm not interested anymore. It kind of overstayed its welcome for me. I was just kind of done with it. It was so freaking good.
Dude,
to the point where we used to we'd have watch parties
every weekend.
I used to love it.
Hell yeah, man! It was amazing.
I remember I would set the DVR to record was the Talking Dead,
Right?
Yeah,
at my house because we would go over to Steve's and we would all watch, and like Liz would have like the blankets.
She was always so nervous
because she had to like hide her eyes.
It was intense.
It was suspenseful and intense, and
they did it.
It was always shocking too.
It was
like
so good.
There was always something like some big surprise, you know.
And they were one of the first shows that, like, I mean, the finales and the mid-season finales were always good, but like even random episodes
had some big shit going
on.
They pushed the envelope right to the end.
Yeah. Big time, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It really was,
Maybe I'll
man.
get into it again. I don't know.
I thought about starting like the first season over again.
Let's do it.
I started watching the first season, and I thought Rick makes the whole thing.
Oh, Rick's fantastic.
He's great. Coral.
Right.
Coral.
But
it was. I mean, it was a good show.
This is going to be last season.
It will be the last season.
I'm gonna have to check these spinoffs, like just to see what they're all about. Like I think I
the Fear the Walking Dead. It's okay, but it's hard to follow sometimes. It's boring.
See, I can deal with the boring. Also, with The Walking Dead, when they did that season with the governor, where Rick and him met in like that, like.
Oh, that
warehouse or whatever. And it was like 2 episodes long of them just talking to each other.
Right.
I mean, come on, man. When you had those bad episodes, because every show has to have those episodes where like nothing goes on. You have that, but watching
they're like filler episodes.
Watching it week to week, like you had to, like before you just would binge watch everything.
Compared to what it was early too. Early was from episode to episode. It was like cliffhanger.
Yeah, and then they would have those kind of like dead episodes. Where like, fuck, man, that was. And you're sitting there looking at your watch too, like. Oh man, there's only 5 minutes left.
Then they skip an episode too. Like they would have like a cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, and then they would go into the future and then come back to that storyline.
Like, they didn't even talk about
and it just left you hanging all the time though.
That's what was cool about that show is that there were so many storylines going on at once. You know, and you were invested into those characters.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you had what was oh man, I can't
Maggie,
remember. Daryl.
Yeah.
You had Daryl on you know at one area, and then you had Rick over here, and then you had Maggie
because it would bounce around from like
and
different groups each time.
That was cool. I like that, and it would like you'd be pissed. You're like, well, wait a minute, what the fuck happened with Carol?
Right.
Like, what? But we didn't hear.
But
any
all
of that.
week though, you're sitting. You're like, man, okay, well.
And then you
and even on the weekends,
you're
like,
talk about it.
Yeah.
And then you're reading stuff on the internet. Like I was invested. Bro.
But remember just sitting there and being like. Saturday, you're like, whatever, it's the weekend, whatever. It gets to Sunday night, so I can watch this show.
Right,
like you were pumped for, like it's like the Brown season. Like you're excited for Sundays to come around. Like I mean, there's something to watch.
Then we never had like Sunday night football on, so
that's true too. We were always 1 o'clock, always. But man, yeah, I haven't really gotten anything that's like that I'm really into like that.
Are you a Marvel fan?
Yes.
You watch WandaVision?
I've not watched it. I heard it was
came out yesterday.
I heard it was good.
So 2 episodes are out.
Okay.
And it is weird.
Isn't that Doctor Strange?
Yeah, so the whole season is supposed to lead up to the next Doctor Strange movie. And
I'm not a huge Doctor Strange, but I've heard it was like it's really well done. So
dude, watch Doctor Strange again. It's really good.
So that was the only Marvel movie like out of all the ones
we didn't see in theater.
I didn't watch it. Like I wasn't really that excited about it. It came out and I was like, whatever.
I never saw it either.
It's really good.
And then I think it was him that talked me into it. He's like, dude, just watch it. It was actually really good.
It's really, really good.
I watched like when he was in the other movies and
yeah. But then like I actually watched that movie and I was like, okay, and it ties everything together and it's
like
pretty awesome.
I'm not I read all the comics and now I'm watching. I never did any of the comics, anything like that. My opinion and my knowledge is purely based on the movies. But it was the same thing. I think I saw every other Marvel movie in theaters except for Doctor Strange. And when I went back and watched it, I was like, oh shit. Like, this is cool. This is good. I was like, Wizard. I don't give a shit. Like, this is weird. And you know what? The other one was Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't go see that.
That was
the first
really
one.
good. I was surprised.
So
good.
So the first one I didn't see in theaters. We saw the second one in
yeah,
theaters.
The second one we did.
Because after I watched the first one, because
it's amazing.
Same thing. When it came out, I'm like, okay, there's a little raccoon and
yeah, there's a raccoon and green people.
yeah, I'm
come
like,
on.
okay,
That's nice.
Yeah.
But then you watch it, and it's like, damn, those might be my favorite movies.
Those are cool.
They're great. The second one, it's so phenomenal.
They're so well done. But
and
yeah.
you love that cast.
Oh yeah,
They're phenomenal. Like, I don't know.
Well, and actually, I was very skeptical of Batista,
Yeah.
just because like you have this preconception that like you come from the wrestling world.
Well, yeah,
like,
you
you're
know who
not
he
a good
is.
actor, right? Like these guys try and make movies, and they're just not good. Like a couple of those guys went to the big screen, and like they're never any good.
Except for The
He
Rock.
does-
The
Well,
Rock is
right.
awesome.
The Rock
That's
did
like,
amazing.
yeah,
You're right.
He's doing phenomenal.
You're right. But like, I used to love Stone Cold.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no movie he's ever put out has ever
No,
been
no,
any
no, no.
good.
No.
Who's the other one? John Cena. He did a couple
Oh,
movies.
God. The
Fucking
Marine.
Terrible.
Unwatchable. Right.
Yeah, it is
Literally
terrible,
unwatchable.
man.
My son really got into John Cena's got a movie where he's a firefighter. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called. He really got into that like during the pandemic, and he wanted to watch it every day.
Was it awful?
It's just so bad.
Yeah,
It's
Batista
so
did a good
bad.
job.
But yeah, Batista does amazing. Like he
Actually, I
doesn't
saw
try and
another
do
one of
too
his
much.
movies with one of the guys from Silicon Valley, the Indian
really?
guy.
Oh, that guy's hilarious.
Where so that guy's an Uber driver,
uh-huh.
and Batista's like he's a cop, and it's
Oh,
so I watched. I think I saw it on maybe it was on
Isn't
Netflix
he
or
like-
Amazon.
matched up with like a little girl or something.
No, that's
like
a different
that?
movie.
That's a different movie. All right.
But he it's actually pretty funny. It's a
Okay.
good movie. He does a great job in it. And I'm like, because Batista, like you said, like you don't
Right.
think he's going to be any good, but he was actually pretty damn
Okay.
good.
I believe it.
But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. I think they're supposed to make another one
Yeah.
because
they're doing
Thor's
it.
supposed to be in it.
Yeah.
I thought people were dead, and I didn't know if they were gonna make another one of that.
No.
So everybody
They're
was good
good.
except
So-
for
Well, at the end,
what's her face?
Gamora?
Gamora. She's gone.
so I
But
think
The Rock
that's
ends
the
up going with
third-
them.
I think the
Or The Rock.
does.
Jesus Christ.
Thor?
dude,
Rock's in that
Thor.
movie now.
Actually,
still-
The
I'm
Rock is. So The Rock is going to be Adam. What's his name?
Oh, Adam, the one from the second Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
who's like supposed to be like a
He's like
super
the
villain,
ultimate
like the
supreme being. Like yeah. The
So
Rock
that'll be
is
the-
Black Adam. That's what it's called.
Oh, is that what it is? I thought it was. I thought. Okay, that was a different one.
No.
Okay.
But I mean, he's gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Yeah. Well, because I know that at the end of Endgame,
Yeah.
Thor ends up with the Guardians of the Galaxy. He goes with
Right.
those guys.
Yeah. 'Cause
Now I
he's
also
like,
heard that
"You're
the
in
new
charge." Of
Thor
course.
movies are supposed to be. That's right. Oh god, it was so good, man.
So good.
When they get introduced to him when they pick him up
Yeah.
out of space, and he's like him and
Chris Pratt.
Star. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just going back and forth.
Yeah. And he starts talking in his deep voice.
Yeah. It's like, why are you
so
talking
good.
like that?
This is my normal voice.
This is how I talk. But I heard that there's supposed to be another Thor movie,
There is.
but Natalie Portman is supposed to be
Yep.
Thor,
Yep. She
pretty
takes
much.
over the.
Which
yeah.
doesn't make any sense to me. Wouldn't it be somebody that was like from their world?
No, if you're worthy, you
Okay.
possess the power of Thor.
Okay. If she's worthy, then makes sense. And then there's another one. So I think Black Panther. I think it's his little sister.
That's not confirmed, but Shuri is supposed to be the.
new Black Panther.
Yeah.
I heard something yesterday that Captain America is coming back.
Yeah. So that's like
So
a
he
big
decided-
thing right now.
Yeah? I didn't hear
So
that.
he's denied it.
Not fully though. He didn't. He's like, "Well,
Yeah. Right.
Kinda left it
He's like,
open-ended.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. But
Maybe
Yeah, you're
a little wink.
even so, it sounds like they're asking him to come back and play a role that's small in one of the movies. Whether or not he will be Captain America in it or just like the old, yeah, I don't know.
old Captain America passing
Right.
torch or something."
Well, you never know because those movies they go. I mean, time travel's involved,
Right.
so
Yeah.
it maybe they need him to come back and do a couple scenes from the past. I don't know.
Speaking of which, bouncing around in time and everything.
Mm.
Whatever happened with the Black Widow movie? Are they just waiting?
They're waiting for theatrical release.
Okay.
So that was supposed to be last
May.
Yeah, April or May, and they're waiting. They gotta put it out there.
I mean, everybody else is putting.
The longer
out.
they hold off, the more you think that it doesn't matter, which sucks.
I know. I do miss going to the movie theater.
It's horrible.
It is, man. I used to love going to see all those Marvel movies. Like, there was like, how long was it? When did the first Iron Man come out? It was like 2008 or something like that.
Yeah, 2008.
So like just 10 years of just going to see every year. There was a couple.
There was
Marvel
like
movies. 4
4 or 5 a year that you could go to, and we would. I mean, me and Steve went to every single one.
Yeah, it was the best, man. You look forward to that. Like, you just mark it on your calendar, and that's all you.
I mean, we didn't go to all of them on like premiere night.
No, but we would go see them. Like, we'd pick a night.
Yeah, we
and
would
just
say,
go.
all right, Monday, $5 movie night on Mondays, and we would go. Like the big ones, we definitely went on opening night.
Well, you know what the thing is too is like opening night ended up being a little different. Remember, you used to have to wait till like the midnight showing.
Right. Then
the last time we did
like 6 p.m.
Yeah, it's like whatever. But like, I remember we went to go see that Batman movie. What was the last one with Bane?
The Dark Knight.
We saw Dark
Bane,
Knight.
right?
Yeah,
No, Dark Knight Rises.
So was that the one where we went and saw it at midnight? Remember that?
Yeah.
So that was that night that there was that shooting in Denver.
Yeah,
so we went to go
that's right.
see that, and at one point during the movie, there was a guy dressed up like the Joker.
Right.
You remember that?
I do remember this.
This guy walks up. So you know when you're in the theater, and then there's like the exit doors like underneath.
They're like lit from the
bottom. This guy gets up, and he's completely dressed up like in costume. He gets up and he sets down like a bag.
Yeah, I remember this.
And we're like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
because that shooting was at a movie theater.
Yeah, and it happened like right after.
Right.
Yeah.
Happened later that night. We didn't hear about it. But I don't know what the hell that guy was doing, because then he put something down and then he left through the exit. And but the thing is, what if that was like a freaking bomb?
Yeah.
And we were just like,
right.
Not gonna happen.
What
Let's
are you
just keep
gonna do?
watching the movie.
Hey, shut that door. I can't see.
Yeah. Hey man, the light's coming through, asshole. Like, I still.
Yeah.
I think about that a lot.
That was crazy.
Like, what
That was
if
at
that was
Willoughby,
something
right?
like maybe something he did something and it just didn't work, but like nobody. I mean, obviously that would have got reported and somebody would have found it, but it was very strange.
It was strange. I
You
remember
didn't think
that.
twice about it either.
No, we didn't. We just kept watching the movie.
Yeah.
But it was like halfway through. He just did that.
Probably
He just
fine.
got up and left.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Weird.
We're here. But then, later that night, you hear the thing that happened in Denver. It's like, holy shit, man.
Crazy.
You a big movie theater guy? Do you like
I
going?
used to be.
Yeah.
Before kids,
kids.
we used to go to movies all the time.
Yeah.
Both my daughters hate the movie theater.
What?
Oh.
It goes back to that instant gratification. They don't want to sit there for 3 hours. They don't like watching movies. They don't like at home. They don't even watch a movie.
Really?
Yeah.
That was like big time, man.
Dude, my kids love the theater.
That was like big time back in the day. Like, just even movie night back in the day. Remember when we'd go and like, you go to Blockbuster on a Friday night and
Hollywood
Blockbuster.
Video.
Hollywood Video.
That shows our
And
age,
you-
doesn't it?
yeah.
Blockbuster?
Yeah, right.
Go grab the
snacks, and
the Bigfoot
popcorn.
pizza from
Little Caesars.
From Little Caesars, some cheesy bread. Go in the family room. We pull up like the couch bed, and we just like me and my brothers would sit there and watch a movie. Like, that was the best, man.
So good.
Like, we try to do that stuff a lot, but there's so many. Like right now, though, like instant gratification. Every movie's in the palm of your hands at
Just
all times.
available.
Like my kids are like, hey, let's watch something we've never watched before. I'm like, all right, guys, I'll be honest with you, you've seen everything. Like, you've seen every freaking movie.
See, my kids are the opposite. Like, we'll scroll through like on Disney Plus. I'm like, hey, let's watch like one of the classics. I'm like, let's watch like my daughter. I was trying to get her to watch The Little Mermaid. She's like, I don't want to watch that. Let's watch Frozen. Come on.
So
Seen
I will say
Frozen
this:
a million
the
times.
classic movies, like we didn't even see Lion King all the way through. They got like bored with it.
It's so good.
It's so good. And by the way, did you see on our page the thing, or no? I didn't put it on our page. I just sent it to you in a text message.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
about Scar, like what happened to Mufasa after he died. So it says like, do you ever like he died obviously, but what happened to his body? So it like starts skipping through like, and this guy's showing like Scar sitting in his cave with this skull, and he's sitting there singing to it, and that's a lion skull. So like saying that like Scar ate Mufasa.
Well, and
he's saying that lions will eat
nothing.
Nothing
No
eats
other animal will eat a lion.
Not even a hyena.
Except the lion.
Except for a lion.
Right.
So he's sitting there, and they're like, came to the conclusion that Scar ate Mufasa, and probably in front of What's the bird's name?
Zazu.
Zazu. That's fucked up,
Got
man.
a lovely bunch of coconuts. Deedly-dee.
Oh, I never have to sing that for Mufasa. But yeah, I mean, like theaters though, man. I used to love them so much. I used to go see. No one saw horror movies with me. I was the only one that would go watch scary movies.
I did until The Happening. Then I was done.
That's true. That's true. You never. After that, there was no.
'Cause
coming
we did.
back.
We used
saw
to go-
that in Strangers.
Steve used to work at Bally Total Fitness. So
Good
again,
times.
Again, showing our age.
Yeah, those don't exist anymore.
Yeah. But he would get off at 1 o'clock on Fridays, and my job at the time, I didn't work on Fridays,
Mm-hmm.
so I would go lift at the gym from like
12 to 1.
12 to 1, something like that, and then we would go and we would hit a matinee, whatever was out. Like
Yep, that Friday
weekend,
came out. We would go see it.
we would go see it. No matter, we would always do it, and it was like 2 out of 3 weeks. It was The Happening, and then
The Strangers,
and it just ruined it for me.
Have you seen The
Terrible
Happening?
movies.
I've never seen it happening.
Don't see it.
Don't see it.
Don't watch that movie because it is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. There's a so
I
the
think
story
Butterfly
is
Effect was that for me.
I like Butterfly Effect.
you didn't like Butterfly Effect? That kind of messed with your head a little bit, man. That was a crazy movie. You didn't like it, huh?
It was all right, but like you said, it messed. It was like
Made you think a
yeah.
lot. The Happening doesn't make you think.
No.
It doesn't do anything for you.
You keep waiting for it to make you think, and it never comes.
Like nature is rebelling against people. It's coming back and it's killing everybody.
Fucking wind.
There's a point in the movie where the wind starts blowing and Mark Wahlberg and what's her name, Zooey
Yeah.
Deschanel or whatever, Deschanel, whatever her name is.
Yeah. Did you not gonna work anymore?
Not gonna watch that movie ever again.
Yeah.
So there's a point where the wind starts blowing and they're like, "It's coming!" and they're just running through this open field. And I'm like, okay, the wind's been blowing this whole time. So like, how do you know that's the wind that's doing it? Like, just the
so
whole
bad.
thing is so bad.
It's so bad.
The acting's terrible, and they're great actors.
Yeah. It was
The
a good
acting was
cast.
awful.
It was
Dude,
really bad.
If you want to see something funny, watch what is that called?
Oh, the
trailer,
Honest Trailers?
Honest Trailers. Watch the Honest Trailer for The Happening, and you will. It's the funniest thing you'll ever see.
so good.
And it's dead on. And then The Stranger's is another one that pissed me off.
Right.
Wasn't good. The guy from Always Sunny.
Always Sunny, yeah.
He's got this shotgun, all right? And these people have knives, and they come down the hall, and he's just sitting there waiting with the shotgun. What do you do, miss? Or did you not shoot it?
I don't think he shot it.
How do you miss a shotgun?
And I mean, I'm talking about point blank range. Like, I'm talking hallway, you're in a
It's
bedroom,
bad.
and like,
You got
it just
these-
pisses you off because, like, dude, you could have just ended this all right now and just taken them out, and you fucked it up. Sorry, I have to fix this.
Yeah. We were, man, we did, man. We went through the movie theater and saw everything. And I miss my kids love the movie theater. Anytime like a age appropriate movie would come out, we would go.
Yeah.
And we'd always hit up Drug Mart for snacks,
Oh yeah,
smuggle them in.
obviously, not paying $15 for.
Yeah.
Bag of M&M's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like come on, man, snow caps.
And yeah, you make sure they hit the bathroom before you go.
Yep.
And we sit in, they loved it.
I'll give you a dad hack. I think I've brought this up before. So I had a Sunday where my wife was working, and I think we had a podcast the night before, and I was just feeling like shit. We were here till 1 something in the morning. We were drinking. And my kids, naturally, they wake up at like 6:30 or 7, and I'm like, I got to do something with them. I'm like, okay, around 11 o'clock, we go to see Frozen 2. And I bring a blanket for both of them and a pillow and their favorite stuffed animal or whatever. And I get snacks. And they're reclining seats and everything. So just set them up, get them nice and comfortable. And I did the same thing. I just sat there and put my head back and took a quick
amazing.
nap.
It's
And they
amazing.
watched the movie. I'm like in pitch blackness, and I didn't have anybody bothering me. They watched
good.
the whole movie, and I just got my rest in. It was amazing.
I don't know how you
I
slept
think it was
through
the last
Frozen 2.
movie that my girl saw was Frozen 2.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell you slept through that. It was amazing.
It was a great movie. And when I say I fell asleep, it was like, you know me, if I fall asleep somewhere in public,
Right.
I'm gonna be snoring. So
Right.
I was self-conscious about that. I'm
You were
snoring.
resting, yeah.
Like Marco.
Oh, yeah.
I can't tell you how many movies I've seen, and he was another one that would come with us to movies.
Yep.
He would always fall
pass out.
asleep during movies. I'm telling you, it could be the new Avengers movie,
What
and he's
movie was
passed
it
out, and
that
he's
we
snoring, and I'm
watched?
like bumping him because he's like, and you could hear him in the theater, and it's like,
What-
dude, shut up.
What movie was that we were both like, dude, I think he was sitting in between us.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
It was
what
probably
movie
like
it was.
Endgame or something, like one of those movies.
Might have been. I don't know.
It was something that was
How did you fall
action.
asleep to Endgame?
Dude,
He would alwa't pass out in the theater.
always pass out.
Didn't
It was
matter what we were watching.
hilarious. Like, serious dude. He's like, oh, I didn't think it was that good. I'm like, you fucking slept the whole time.
He would sleep through majority of the movie, and the only time we'd wake him up is if he was snoring.
Yeah. So funny.
He would just roll over and fall back asleep. I mean, I have passed out in movies before, but not those movies.
Yeah, I've done it before, but oh man, I miss movies.
Mm-hmm.
When that new Wonder Woman movie came out 2 weeks ago, not the greatest movie, but watching it at home is just, it's not the same.
I fell asleep during that one, I'll be honest with
So
you.
that one's a scenario where I was glad that I didn't go to the theater
And
to
waste
see
money.
It was really bad. I thought it was really bad.
Here's my problem with it. It was just super slow.
Right.
It was very slow.
Couldn't get into anything. Like, I remember the first movie being really, I
liked
loved the
one.
first
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Didn't have the same feeling for this one.
No.
I think it's too computerized.
There
That
was
too,
a lot
that
of
too.
terror. Like, her flying was
So
awful
that
in this
so
one.
the first time I noticed that, and it was right away, is when she's in that mall, and she comes flying
She's
over
going
the edge.
like from the
But
stairwell
as soon
to
as she
stairwell.
lands like in front of those guys, I'm like, that was the worst CGI I've ever
So
seen.
bad.
I'm like, that was like early 2000 CGI, like
Yeah.
bad. Like,
Well,
come on, man.
And then
Like,
I think about, like, listen, you delayed this movie because
Months.
of COVID.
Right.
Like, you got time to work
Clean
this
it
shit
up.
out.
clean it up. We'll just finish it and throw it in a box somewhere and be like, well, you know, when
We'll
it's
get to it.
when it comes out, we'll see how it goes.
It's bad.
It sucks, man. I was really excited about that one because there's nothing else to look forward to. There's nothing. There's nothing
right,
else to see.
right.
Like,
You guys have Netflix and all?
yeah.
You see the stuff they're releasing new to Netflix now?
Mm-mm.
There's some horrible movies like our TV shows or, you know,
Grasping at
they're
straws.
over the top of like different languages and
So I've done that where like I'm like, oh, this looks pretty good, and I'll put it on, and then they have the voiceovers, and like
it's
they're
like not even close.
and they're way off, and I can't do that. It bothers me. Like when they do the
And their lips are not even
when
like
they,
even
don't match
close.
up. I think you could get past it eventually, but like if I can't get into it right away, I'm on to the next
Right.
thing.
Yeah,
I
there's
need-
some shows out
instant
there that are supposed
gratification,
to be
right?
amazing.
Because I mean, you have unlimited options.
Right.
So if it's like this could be really good, but I can't deal with that.
Here's the thing, too. Like, I can even get into shows that are, or shows or movies that are really bad, but it's got to have like an entertainment value. Like, there's some shows that I'll watch. It's like guilty pleasure type stuff that, like, listen, the acting's not good.
No,
The
but you get through it.
Right.
but the plot's okay, and
You
it's
guys watch
entertaining.
Cobra Kai?
Oh yeah.
That's
So I watched
in that
Cobra
same
Kai.
realm, right?
So I
right,
exactly because
exactly.
it's so cheesy
Like,
and
it's
ridiculous,
cheesy
but
and not believable, but it's fun.
Right.
so you know what's funny
It's
about
fun.
that show is like the first season came out and I watched it. It was on
YouTube.
YouTube Red,
Yeah.
and then they had the second season come out. And then as soon as that hit Netflix, that show became the biggest thing.
Right.
That's right. I watched that. It was on
And then they
Netflix.
started. Then
Me
they're like,
too.
okay, so they
I
had
didn't watch an episode until Netflix.
yeah. So I saw it before that, and then third season comes out. I mean, it was the biggest show. And then they have a fourth season coming up. Did you guys finish it, by the way?
I did.
I did not finish the third
Okay, so
season.
we can talk about
I
it.
did.
How far? It is, man. Hey, how far are you?
I think I watched 2 episodes.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I wanted to
All right,
talk
I'll watch
about
it.
it.
In 4 days.
I'll watch
Right?
it.
Because they're short episodes,
The
too.
first 2 episodes are
25
not that
minutes?
good.
Yeah.
The first 2 episodes are not that good.
Oh, it gets
All right, I'll watch it.
intense.
I will watch it.
It's such a nostalgic show.
Also,
when
I'm
they start
just
going
now
back,
watching Mandalorian, so
and he's not into that. He's not that far into that either, so we can't even talk
I'm
about
like
it.
4 episodes into the first
I'm
season.
waiting for the next season to come out.
I know, man.
And there come out some other spin-offs.
Yeah, so they
Yeah,
have the
there's a
Boba
bunch.
Fett,
Right.
and then that chick that's the she was in this last season, the Jedi.
Right. I don't know her name, but
I can't think of her name either.
Yeah, me either.
Well, you haven't seen it, so fuck off. No, but it's good, man. And the thing that pisses me off about that show is they're 20-minute episodes, right? Because the intro is long and the
Ending.
credits are long. So it's like, really, once you get past all that, it's like 20 minutes.
That's how WandaVision is.
Yeah, so it's like, and then it's like 9 episodes. It's like, man. But I mean, the cost of that, the budget on that show has to be, that's like making it's like making a movie.
Yeah.
it's helped us get through COVID, though.
It has.
Yeah.
And so it's a good thing that you're not through it yet, because those shows come out and I'm like, bang, bang, bang. Well, they release that weekly, though. Right?
Right.
So it wasn't ever,
Right.
you couldn't
So had
binge
to
watch
wait
it.
every week, right? But Cobra Kai,
I mean, you could.
we finished it in, I think, 3-4 days.
Yeah,
We
same.
finished it.
Yeah.
Same. It was
When the
easy
kids go
to.
to bed, it was like lay in bed and watch 2-3 episodes. And
Well, the problem with you is we play
Yeah.
video games. We play Call of Duty. And so at night, can't really watch the the shows that we want to watch because we're busy doing that. But
Busy gaming.
gaming.
Well,
But-
because that's when I was watching Game of Thrones, because I took a hiatus from gaming for a couple months.
Yeah.
You know,
I used to love gaming, but as soon as the kids got old enough, and
That's what I think the difference is once the kids get old enough, I don't want to be sitting in front of a game console and be like, you don't do that, but I'm doing it.
we have a Switch, and the girls love playing that. We'll play like Mario Kart and stuff
Yeah.
together.
yeah.
They get mad at me because I beat
Kick
them all
their
the time.
asses.
And
Obviously,
Yeah, can you let them
can't
win?
show any mercy on that.
no, it's- what do you want
I live by
to teach them?
Cobra.
If let
I live
them
by
win,
Cobra
Strike
Kai.
hard, strike fast.
Yeah,
Right.
no mercy.
You know, if you're not first, you're second. You're first loser.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you ain't first, you're last.
I live. That doesn't make any sense.
You could be second, third.
I was high when I said that. I live my life by that. Well, Cobra Kai, man, like the new dojo. What was it?
Whoa, bro.
Turn off your turn. Hold on, let me mute you real quick.
him?
I don't know. Are you two?
This is really good, by the way.
Eagle Fang karate.
Could be the worst name.
So bad.
Great.
Yeah, but eagles don't have fangs.
Great. You ruined it.
Just pass face. Oh God, it's so good. All right, sorry. Oh man,
Good stuff.
this is phenomenal.
Tell me more about the wine business and
Yeah,
what
and-
you guys are doing, because this is
This
I
is
gotta
really
be
good.
honest, Secret time.
I love wine.
I'm
all of a
really
sudden.
enjoying this wine.
I'm glad you guys are liking it.
Yeah, because I haven't sat around and just drank wine with somebody and
I never.
never.
I mean, I've tried to, and like my wife and I will have a glass. And
Well, yeah, I mean,
my
but
wife's
it's-
not like huge into
But
wine either.
when's the last time? Or when have we ever sat around a couple of guys and just had wine? Never.
No.
That's a nice
These
change
are
of
all
pace.
big reds are not, not rosés. Nothing wrong with rosés, but
I like rosé.
we're a few months away from that.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Like, what kind of question do I know about? What about wines?
Well, I know that you're planning on doing something with your company that's kind of big.
We are rebranding here in
Yeah.
about 2 weeks. We're going to release our new website.
Might be on your shirt.
It is. Right now,
Oh,
we're,
weird.
Right now, we are known as Tuscany Wine Distributing Company.
Right.
But because we're more than that now, we have decided to change our name to Rogue Wine Distributors because we don't follow anybody else. We are kind of do our own thing and find cool, unique wines that we think has great juice and people will love for a great price. And we're finding guys that are cool winemakers that have their own unique story, that are family guys.
Right.
My owners has 2 kids. I have 2 kids. He put a bunch of trust in me to help build a company. He gave me a percentage of the company. So, we're vested in it. So we decided to kind of blaze our own trail.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of led us to the name Rogue.
You guys went
That's
rogue.
a cool
company.
name.
Right.
I like that.
Kind of
It's not like your typical, like you said, like the wine is like a romantic thing, like Tuscany. It's romantic. Rogue. Going rogue.
I
like that.
I like that. I think
different.
It,
Especially in the wine world.
well, I mean, look, for a consumer like me who pretty much only buys whiskey at this point, like I don't even buy beer I think this is the first year in like probably a decade that the General Conway Irish Ale came out that I didn't like go scoop up a sixer right away. I'm just not
Just
into it,
whatever. Yeah.
But I think it's cool to try and reach maybe another segment of the market that I could be into wine. Like I know that we're building our house right now, and we're like, all right, well, at the bar downstairs in the basement, we gotta have a place for wine. And like my wife and I, we really don't drink wine. Like she drinks mules and stuff like that, and whatever.
But maybe now,
but
maybe you could just get a little portion of the bar there and make it a
Yeah.
wine cellar over there.
I might know a guy that can get you some good wines.
You might know a guy.
Right,
All right,
right.
well, put me
Maybe
in
we might,
contact.
Yeah. Introduce us to this guy.
I don't know who this guy
Yeah,
is.
this is weird.
But going to the Rogue name, we're trying to find that next cool wine, of course, like
Right.
everybody else. But we're making sure it's the right wine. We just don't want to throw a bunch of stuff against the wall and see what sticks.
Right.
And that leads to everything else. We're trying to find cool beers. I'm talking to a brewery in California right now that doesn't distribute outside California.
Okay.
But we're in talks to maybe do something twice a year.
Okay.
just to get started. We're looking at another company in California that does a hard juice.
Wait, what?
It's, seltzers, you have your mixed drinks. This is a 5% hard, naturally done, natural yeast juice that they make. So it's in that seltzer realm.
So would it have like the carbonation?
It has a little bit of carbonation to it.
Which I'm a huge carbonation guy.
It's organic, it's vegan. It has a bunch of different healthy stuff put into it. But it's 5% alcohol, so it's not crazy amounts of alcohol. It's 95 calories, and it does a lot of good for your body. So it's in between the mixed drinks in a can and the seltzer in a can. And we're trying to find that next thing that's unique that the public might like.
Okay.
I
could see that working.
Yeah, that's something I would
It
definitely
opens
try.
up a whole new realm, too, because
Right.
you got your health areas, your specialty stores that we can get into. You still got your grocery chains, you got your wine shops.
Right.
But, go to a restaurant, sitting on the patio, stick of seltzers. Let me try hard juice, see what that feels like.
It's a good summer drink.
Right.
Okay.
It has a little more taste to it.
Listen, I like juice.
Same.
Who doesn't like juice?
Yeah, show me someone who doesn't like juice.
Juice is solid.
Show 'em- call it, well, yeah, it is. I mean, it's not. You want me to say that joke again? Teeing it up? No, Ian.
Sorry, it's all good.
It's a liquid.
You got it. No, I think that's cool. Well, and I think, Rogue, and it's like you said, you're trying to find something different and you're kind of going off on your own path, and that's cool. I think what you're doing and going out and doing the legwork, right? I don't know. A lot of times you go into a liquor store or whatever, and you just assume that it's this big machine. And the reality is that there's hardworking people that figure out what needs to be on the shelf to sell, but also to bring the best products,
The behind the scenes
to the consumer.
Right.
I know I look at that a lot with in the whiskey world is, okay, well, what is this crap brand doing on here? And then I try it and I'm like, oh shit, somebody did some work here to bring that to the state. This is solid.
Yeah.
And it's a good price. So I don't know. That's the way I look at things now is maybe from a industry standpoint. And I think maybe a lot of people do our age. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I just think it's cool to see the inner workings of it and what you guys are doing. That sounds pretty cool. And I'm a big branding guy too. So rebranding is fun and going through that whole process. It's kind of a headache, but it also can be a lot of fun.
It is fun, and and it can be a headache.
Yeah.
Our new website should be out in about 2 to 3 weeks. Our
Oh,
logo,
nice.
hopefully this week, will be done.
Sweet.
Just a few little tweaking to it, but it's
So that's
a
not the
fun
set
time for us.
logo then.
No, this is from Rogue down in Columbus, the CrossFit.
Yeah.
So I've been doing CrossFit for about 5 years now. So
Nice.
that's where the name
So you
kind of
flip
came
tires?
You hit tires with
Yeah.
hammers.
from. Sometimes,
That's
but not flip tires though.
That was yeah. That's
Father
our,
Time doesn't let me do that anymore.
That's a callback to episode 2.
yeah,
right?
Crockett.
Yeah, our buddy Kevin Crockett. He's a big CrossFit guy, and
We always like to
making fun of him.
poke
What do
fun.
you do? Just flip tires around all day, or
People love making fun of CrossFitters.
What's the pull up
they're
thing?
dude, that dude's in
No, he's a beast.
such good shape.
Oh, I mean, it's a phenomenal workout. I just never
Yeah,
tried it, so
It's fun.
yeah.
I have nothing bad to say about it.
No, not at all.
But it was just
Yeah,
our joking. Yeah. All joking aside, yes. So your new logo will be coming out then. You said
About 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
Hoping to
okay.
be finalized, and the website should be about 3 weeks. But we've put a great team together and a bunch of guys and ladies that have a chip on their shoulder and are looking to do things the right way and have a passion for wine and the whole beverage industry, and
that's fun.
that's awesome.
That's
That's,
a lot of
fun
fun.
too. That's a fun job too. Work is work.
right. You might, if
But you
you're gonna
find
do it,
something
might
you're
as well do something
passionate
you have
about.
fun about.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
This is my dream job. When Jeff called me in July and offered me a position, he actually offered me 3 positions. He told me, "Hey, come on in. Tell me what I needed to blow up my portfolio and blow my business up, or you can come be a rep for me, or you can come and be part owner in the company be brand director and let's work this thing together and blow it up and something our kids be proud of. And I took number 3.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome.
So what were you doing before that? Were you still in the wine world? Or?
I was.
Okay.
I've been in the wine world for almost 10 years now.
Okay.
I was actually working at Heinen's for 5 years.
Love Heinen's.
So
Big fan.
Love Heinen's.
they have a lot of our wines they have there in the Mender store and all over the place. So
cool. I always tell
That's awesome.
every time we go to Heinen's, I tell my kids they need to work there when they're in high school.
I agree with that. There's like 3 jobs that I would want my kids to have. It's either that, Chick-fil-A, or be like or be a caddy.
that's
Yes.
I told my daughter
Yes.
be a caddy. My brother works at Pepper Pie Club.
Yeah.
And I said, I tell him all the time, Nate, you got to stay there for another 10 years.
Hell yeah, man.
So
Get my
both
daughter.
girls can be caddies
Yeah,
and make
right.
big coin.
Dude, I met a guy that he's like real high up at ABB, and he was telling me like I was playing golf with him at our golf outing for work, and he's like, yeah, so I got my kids to be caddies at this because they live like on a golf course, and he's like this country club. He's like, I got my kids to be caddies, and his one son got into it real early, and he was able to sit there and meet a ton of people,
Right.
and this is what helped him get into college, get like all these he got so many different connections, and now he has a job set up once he graduates with a big time company just from meeting people caddying. Like,
It's amazing.
networking.
It's not what you know.
It's
who you know.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%.
100%. That is true. And that's a phenomenal job for kids. And you're going to sit there and deal with a lot of older people. I mean, and just learn a shit ton.
Teaches patience.
Yeah, I mean, you're using your manners. You're being, you're working for these guys.
Mathematics,
Yeah.
you're-
I mean, it's
I
huge.
didn't pick up a golf club till I was like 26.
I love golf. I picked them with 18.
See, so the first time I ever
kinda
golfed.
relate with me, right?
Yeah,
like
right.
You
So-
played a little bit.
Yeah,
but
like here and there, like nothing. I was never
Yeah.
really into it. I played with like Raj and Perry and Witterman every now and then. But like when I started working at where I work now, we as soon as I think it was my first year there, they're like, hey, we need you to golf tomorrow in our company outing. I'm like, well, shit. Okay. So that night I went to Dick's. I bought myself a set of golf clubs. And then from then on, I just fell in love with golf. We
Yeah,
started at the
so
same
much
time.
fun.
We
Yeah,
both bought
did.
the
It was
same
right
set
around
of
the
clubs.
Same time. Yeah, we bought this exact same set.
That summer,
yeah.
and then we got into it, and we were just, we were playing like crazy.
I still use that sandwich, by the way.
I lost mine last year. Sad day. Walter Hagen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gone.
I love it. It's so much fun. And,
No,
and you make so many relationships on the golf course. Just playing with different guys, and that would be an amazing job for a kid.
That's the one thing I'm trying to get my girls to do is they pick up golf because something we can do for
Yeah.
Forever.
right?
Yeah.
Right. That's a good call. We try to take our boys sometimes.
Yeah.
They pretty much like
They're
the
into
same
it for the
trip.
first couple holes. Now they're 4. Well, last time we took them, they were both like 4 probably.
Yeah,
and then,
right.
and they, 2 4-year-olds hanging out with each other. It's like, yeah, this is fun, but now we want to do what we want to do. And I mean, they had a blast.
I live on a golf course right now.
Okay.
And my youngest will go this time of year looking for golf balls around the whole course. I think we found about 400 or 500 so far this winter. And she sells them all summer long.
Yeah, that's a great thing to do.
I think she made like $600-700 last year just off the golf balls we found.
Dude, I bet some of those are mine.
Oh, half of those are mine. They're in the woods. They're mine.
So like
I see trees or I see a pond. That's where
Yeah,
it's
I'm
going.
but it's fun for kids.
Hell yeah, it is,
100%.
man. It's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. I definitely want to keep my kids interested in golf. It was something I just really never got
That's
into.
another one that teaches you patience.
For sure. I mean, I might want to break my club over my knee
Oh, yeah.
all the time, but
Just don't show them. That's fine.
yeah, don't show them that. Yeah.
We save that for when we just play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only time I broke a club was the most
That was
fluke thing
bullshit.
ever. I duffed a chip shot and I was pissed off and I literally went I grabbed the bottom and I just went like this and it hit the ground. And as soon as it hits the ground, it snaps in half.
It was crazy.
I mean,
it wasn't
barely
like a rage, throw your club, which I've done before.
I swung and hit a one bad shot, and I it was probably 20 years ago. The club might have slipped out of my hands and hit a tree and broke in half as a brand new club. I've never done it since then, but
Yeah.
It's one of those things though, like that when I did it, that was complete bullshit. It was like the most fluky thing I've ever seen.
Like you couldn't throw this
it was
wine glass.
It was like a bat.
and have it
it was like a
shattered the way he
casual
threw
bat
it.
flip. Like when you hit a home run, you just do like you grab the bottom of the bat, just kind of just flip it. That's, I mean, I didn't flip it. I just kind of like just tossed it straight, and the club head hit first and just snapped in half. I'm like, oh, here's my pitching wedge. Yep. Well, sweet.
See you later.
Go spend another $100 on one of those. I mean, it's an expensive game, but it is.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fun.
You know,
but you can do it like you said. You can do it forever.
Right.
Now, Chick-fil-A and Heinen's, another couple places where the kids are going to learn their manners, be respectful.
Love it.
Chick-fil-A, like you see that meme at one point, it was like the whole USPS thing. It's why don't we just shut down Chick-fil-A's for a little while and send all those kids from there to go organize all the mail for a week, and I guarantee that place will be back up and running in no time.
How crazy was the mail this year?
I'm still getting Christmas cards.
I got one from November 10th that was sent out.
What? Jeez.
It was last week.
I heard about people like checking, like tracking on stuff and like sending it from like Toledo to like Willoughby, and it was like for some reason in like Phoenix. It's like, what the fuck happened? Like we're shipping it across the state,
and it was sitting at the Cleveland mail at the mail, sitting for 3 weeks, just in that one spot,
just sitting there.
And crazy. I got it after Christmas, and she ordered it in like the first or second week in November.
It's unbelievable. I'm telling you, man, I'm still getting Christmas cards. I just got one from Liz's, my wife's great aunt sent us one, and we just got it this week.
We might get Christmas in July. Maybe we'll get some then.
Yeah, right? We're like, oh, this is nice. How thoughtful. Someone's sending Christmas in July cards.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh, wait, it says November.
I don't know who those people were. But yeah, I mean, like, and that's the thing too, is like, we were sending out our Christmas cards, and I'm like thinking of, okay, I have to send it out to family locally. I'm like, screw that. I will hand deliver it myself. Right. I will drive it over and take care of it myself because I didn't trust it, man. I mean, who knows when my, both my stepsisters live out of state. Like, they live in Denver and DC. And I'm like, they're not getting this before Christmas. It's not happening. No. And like, when you get Christmas cards after Christmas, you're like, man,
do you open it up?
Yeah. Cause like before Christmas, you have all your cards lined up, you know, they're on display. Well, after Christmas, you're like, well, Christmas is over. When you're done with Christmas, you're done.
Right.
Like, you don't want to see Christmas anymore. Like, you're already thinking about spring. You're like, bring on spring. I'm done with the winter time. I don't know about you, but
I'm done with winter.
Yeah. Do you do any type of winter sports? Do you do any like snowboarding or anything? Nope. Okay.
I hate the cold.
I do too.
I love golf.
But I do. I haven't done it in probably probably since my oldest was born. I haven't gone snowboarding in a long time. But I love snowboarding. I snowboard, my wife skis. We used to go out to Denver every year, and I mean, I just haven't done it. I mean, it's nice to have some type of hobby, right? Because like, what the hell else are you gonna do? Like half the year we're just stuck,
sitting in the house.
But that being said, like in the last 3 or 4 years, we haven't had like all the places around here. Like you can't even go to New York because they can't even get a base at those places because you're like in the 40s all year, like all winter long, and it's just majority of the time it's raining. Right. You know what I mean? Like how much rain do we get in the winter time? And I hate cold rain.
Cold rain.
I'd rather
is
have
the
snow
worst.
than rain.
100%.
I hate snow, but I'd rather have snow.
100%.
Cold rain is a nightmare, and then your yard, like nothing dries out either. That's the problem. Everything's soaked, and it's never going to dry out.
Big ice rink and
it's just miserable.
It's like the worst.
Like because it could rain for like a day. And then your yard isn't drying out. Your nards aren't drying. No, I don't care what anybody says. No, they're not, man. Drying. No, especially in the summertime. Those babies are never drying.
Nards ain't never drying out.
Damn it. Damn you, wine. No, but your yard's never drying out. Like you go to the playground, the slides are wet.
Yeah,
it's muddy.
Dude, I took the kids to the playground today, and they
Is it too cold for them at the playground?
I mean, so all right,
kids are a lot more resilient than us.
No, that's true.
they don't mind the cold.
Right, so no, here, let's back it up. Here's what actually happened. So my wife's like, "Hey, what time are you leaving for the podcast?" And I was like, I'm telling her and everything. She was like, "Okay." And I was about 2 hours from leaving, and she goes, "Well," and she says this out loud with our kids in the living room.
Oh, she knows what she's doing.
Like,
she knows what she's doing.
Wouldn't it be fun if Daddy took you out to the playground for a little bit? I'm
hey,
like,
Ian,
under the bus.
Ian,
right under the bus.
I'm like, well, since you said it out loud.
Yeah, she didn't even say, "Hey, kids, do you think it would be cool if Daddy took you?" She said, "Hey, Ian, what about the playground?"
And I'm like,
playground.
I'm like, look, and now, granted, it's like a 30-second walk from my apartment. Like our apartment complex has like a little playground, which is great. So I was like, you know what? That's great. I'll do it. So took 20 minutes to get them in their sweatshirts and
getting them dressed up is a nightmare.
Getting my kids to wear clothes in general, you know.
Another problem with the whole being at home all the time.
All the time, right?
Shorts and T-shirts.
Yep.
Dude, not even, man.
My kids are in underwear.
Underwear all the time. I'm like, come on, guys. Put some freaking clothes on. So my daughter was trying to get her dressed, and she's like, well, that sweatshirt's not pretty. I'm like, Sloan, you're going to have a coat on over top. We are going to the playground. We're going to make it 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's not going to last.
Like, just put this on. Whatever. We got through all that. We get out there. And they're both pissed off because the swings and the slide has water on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah, it's winter.
Yeah, it rained yesterday.
I'm like, here. And I'm like trying to wipe it down. And it's not working. I take off, like I have a beanie hat on. I like take that off and I'm trying to wipe the swings off.
Dad hack. Bring a towel.
I should have.
The playground.
I should have. You're absolutely right.
I'm saying it. I haven't done it, but
yeah,
there you go.
I was thinking of that. Yeah. But yeah, we made it. I'm like, just run around then. So
just run.
Then they start getting sticks and throwing them. I'm like, all right, we're going in. We're done.
It's funny. Like, you want the kids to go out and play, and they start getting crazy like that, and immediately you're like, don't do that. Don't do that. But at the same time, we should be like, let the kids just. And I'm saying this because I do the same thing. But it's like, you know what?
Dude, you're
in hindsight.
You're 100%.
In hindsight,
right.
You're like, let the kids fucking play.
We were walking.
Let them get crazy. Whatever.
We were
All the
walking.
dumb crap we do when we were little.
Exactly. Yeah. But that for some reason, and we all do it, it's like, don't get too crazy. Settle down.
Yes.
But why? They're stuck in the house.
We don't want to get hurt and go to the hospital.
Yeah. And then you're like, well, maybe people see them and these kids are crazy.
Right.
Screw that.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this because, like I said,
right,
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Let them just get crazy.
I was literally thinking that as we were walking back, 30-second walk back to the apartment. And I was like, why didn't I just let them play? Because they were.
They need to get
it out. They were getting
out.
these big sticks out, and they were fighting each other. And
they're being Jedis. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
My son, so we were supposed to go to Disney in April of last year. Me and Steve and another one of our friends. So there was going to be 6 adults and
7 kids.
2, 4, 6, carry the 2, 7 kids.
Math.
Yeah. And like we rented did an Airbnb, this nice house right by the resorts and everything. It was going to be so much fun. Like we were looking for, like we had
meetings,
separate meetings, like where we were planning this trip out and everything. And of course it got canceled. And my son is still, he's like, well, when are we actually going? And I've been like pushing it out.
When
like,
you're 15.
But he's like, well, I'm supposed to go to Jedi school. I know, man.
So Sam doesn't ask when we're going. He just says like, well, he makes me feel really bad about it. He goes, well, I've never been there. He's like, maybe one day I'll get to go to Disney. I'm like, listen, asshole. I didn't go to Disney until I was 19. All right. So I don't want to hear anything.
Honeymoon. It's the first time I went to Disney.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't go until I was 19 years old. And I didn't care either. I remember seeing the commercials for it, but I never went.
Hold on. So I took my kids to Disney 3 years ago. 2 years.
Yeah.
Sloan was
she was a baby. Yeah.
I've taken my kids twice.
And I remember being in line to meet like fucking Winnie the Pooh or something. And I just remember looking around and seeing all these couples there that were clearly on their honeymoon. No kids, nothing like that.
I didn't go meet any characters. They were going to ask that question.
Okay, good. Because
we were in line to do that.
What are these adults doing?
Right.
And like I could see if it was like Chewbacca or something like that. But like I remember Winnie the Pooh line was so freaking long. My kids don't even really know about Winnie the Pooh. But I was like, all right,
it's a
go
character.
see him,
It'd be
get your
fun.
autograph, book signed, stuff like that. There was these young couples everywhere. I'm like, what are these people doing?
So you weren't in line for that kind of stuff. No, you were trying to get on the rides, right? I mean, like
we went on a few rides.
Yeah.
Went out to dinner.
It's
just take
fantastic.
it. The place is amazing, right?
It's amazing. I love
I mean, like I said, I went when I was 19, and I had a blast. We had passes to all the parks, through my mom's work. She was there for a trade show or something like that, and they had all these free tickets. And I mean, it was amazing. I had a blast there, and that was the first time I ever gone. And like we went on all the roller coasters, we saw some of the shows and things like that. Man, it's just larger than life. Everything is amazing.
Disney if you especially if kids, go on a cruise.
Really?
The Disney cruise?
Badass.
I've heard that.
Dude,
the
let's
Disney
do
cruise.
that.
We should do that, man.
Yeah, not that you want to do this because you want to be with your kids and everything.
Yeah.
But
It's okay. Like, we're realistic here.
Yeah, we know. We're all the same.
babysitting, and they're playing all day, and there's so many plays.
Oh, wait, they do that?
Yeah. Like,
Have you ever seen
and they have
Hotel Transylvania
and they have
3?
like
Where they drop off all
Yeah.
the wolves?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
they have a watch, like you have like Life 360 right now on
Yeah,
your
yeah,
phone.
yeah.
You can see wherever they are in the whole boat, and you get to go to plays, movies, out to dinner.
That's a great
And the kids have a
vacation idea,
blast.
man.
They
'Cause you-
swim
'cause
all
you-
day, and it's the best.
Could you imagine too? Because like they're not like if say we went with like us and the Perrys, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be like I mean, they would be fine too, like with random kids, but being with their friends that
Yeah.
they know,
Yeah.
Right?
and then we get to all hang out like as parents.
Sounds amazing.
All they want to do is swim, see characters, and play. They don't care about the rides at
No,
Disney. You're spending
no.
a fortune. They get to take pictures. There's still characters there, and it's awesome.
I mean,
Hit
I
that
think
button.
I think he just did it,
Hit
man.
that button.
He just did it
We're
for
not
us.
even there yet, but
Disney cruise.
We've talked about going back. It's just finding the time and with travel soccer. Everything else is hard.
right.
Yeah. So I mean, like, do it early on, like now for us,
Dude, that's why we said we wanted to do it when they were
little like
this year, because we're like, all right, soon they're gonna have
You're gonna have other
sports
activities and all that shit.
other things that it's gonna be hard to get all of us together
Right.
to do it. And of course, COVID kind of screwed that.
If I never hear that word ever again in my life, it'd be too soon.
right?
Right? Like earlier when I said the Corona seltzers, like I stopped. I was like, Corona. I'm like, seltzers? Is that the thing? Like it just throws me off. Like
Right.
I don't want to hear about it anymore. So fucking sick of it. It's just ruined everything. I mean,
The holidays weren't even feel like the holidays this year.
no.
All right, I'm gonna unpopular opinion. I loved the holidays this year. We went
Less
to
running
one
around.
place,
So we've talked about
and
this.
like
where
again, trying to like pull the positives out of it.
Right.
But like we did, we went to my in-laws, and that was it. And usually we're going to a couple different places between.
you're bouncing
I mean,
around.
even weeks leading up to.
Right.
We have all these different things to do, and we just didn't have as much to do this year.
Which sucks
Now,
for Mike.
it wasn't nearly as magical,
Right.
but
but you know what?
I don't know.
The kids still had a fucking blast.
Oh yeah,
They don't care.
They don't care, man. You got the tree up. You're
Oh,
still doing
Santa
some fun
came,
things.
they're happy.
yeah,
Dude, I mean, the kids are happy no matter what. You're going to look at Christmas lights.
right.
I mean, multiple times during the week, we would just drive around and go look for Christmas lights.
All right, talk about Christmas lights. We'll help you guys out again.
Okay.
We appreciate this.
Ogilvy down West Virginia.
Oh,
yeah, I heard.
It's a must to take your
Yep.
kids. We've gone 5 years in a row now.
I've never been.
Even my 13-year-old loves it. She wants to go.
So we went before kids. We went. I remember we went for Thanksgiving. So the weekend of Thanksgiving is when they open that up.
Right.
And so we went on a family trip. We did Thanksgiving at one of the cabins or whatever. And that was my favorite Thanksgiving ever. Like, we went there, had a great time. We were playing like board games and shit like that all night around the fire inside the place. And then that weekend, I think it was that Friday night, we went and we drove around in the van. And like, the Christmas lights are amazing down there.
If you go down there, take
Yeah.
the trolley. So you don't have to drive. You sit back,
Just
drink
relax.
beer, and watch the lights.
See, that's
It's
that's the
45 minutes
that's the
with
other
the
thing
lights.
too.
It's
Is like
awesome.
driving through this stuff, like
no
those
fun.
shows, like because
When you're actually driving.
when you're the
yeah.
driver,
Yeah.
it sucks
Yeah,
because
right.
like
You're
you're
right.
because you can't enjoy what you're looking at because you're
Right.
worried about the car in front of you, and then you're like, okay, am I going too slow?
Right.
There's a car behind me.
You got the wife
I
telling you you're
stop.
going
I
too
don't even
slow.
care. I'm like,
They're like, hey, don't stop to look at the displays. I'm like, fuck that. My kids. I'm like, I
Right.
just paid $30 to see
Yeah,
Christmas
right.
lights. I'm gonna stop.
I'm gonna get
I
the
don't
show.
care.
but that's why we took the trolley every year because
Okay.
I don't have to drive around, and the girls are just kind of chill. And
What's the other thing too is like you let the kids run free around the car,
Yep.
and they're both climbing around me, and I'm trying to drive, and like,
Yep. It's tough being the driver.
but
for
you know,
sure.
2.5 hours. I think it's.
Yeah,
all right, so that's
a
throw
cool
that on the
place
list.
to go.
And you go in the summertime, play golf. Their golf courses are great.
Those are tough golf courses.
Right. You have to be a mountain goat, but it's fun.
Yeah, right. You're doing some hills there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for health.
True.
I got to do health. Got to do hills, man. Hills are good.
I gotta do health.
I got to do health when I can, which I'm getting really lazy lately.
I know, same.
That's another problem. You're doing CrossFit still, huh?
Well, when COVID hit, I kind of stopped because they closed all the gyms down. But what we're doing now is we're building a gym at our house.
Okay.
I've ordered a ton of equipment. I've got bike, I got the rower, I got a bunch of weights.
Is it easier to find equipment now?
No, it's a pain.
Still pain in the ass?
Because I've had to wait 2-3 weeks, a month, 2 months
Yeah.
to get certain things from Rogue or anybody else. So
Like I should have done it at the start, and it kind of just deterred me after the whole thing went down. Like, I remember going online and be like, I need to get some weights.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at like 3-month lead time. I'm like, okay, I'm never getting this shit.
Right.
So I just was like, screw it. And then like I wanted to get a bike for the summertime. Every
Tough to
store you
find.
went to, couldn't get a bike.
right.
You're starting to see them now. I was at Target last week, and they have some bikes there.
Yeah.
I didn't buy one.
You're waiting to go on sale. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the sales,
Yeah,
man.
Monday.
Yeah.
Monday.
Monday starts
One
the
day.
one day and Monday. That's what I use. That's my motto. One day I'll get around to it, and Monday starts the diet.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I had McDonald's today. Whatever.
Nice. We had a Manhattan Deli today.
What'd you get?
I got I think it's called the Manhattan. It's
Oh,
just like
original.
the turkey bacon club. Solid.
Southeast turkeys.
Right?
Turkey's the best.
All right,
What-
Rick, you did some dad hacks already. I don't know if you prepared
Crushed it.
anything else.
Because we could come back. We could circle back around.
But we always like to give our listeners like a little tidbit into parenting. So you've got a 10 and a 13-year-old. It could be at this stage in their life. It could be when they were babies that you remember you did something that just worked out amazing. I think Disney Cruise is definitely a good dad hack.
Ogilvy's are good day.
Ogilvy's
Yeah, you
another
got two
good dad
already, man.
hack. I mean, listen, I think vacations and travel, number one, it gives you something to look forward to. And then, like, we were planning Disney, our regular Disney trip, and, like, that was a lot of fun for months. Like, I had fun doing that.
Yeah, because we had to hang out.
We got to hang out. We were scheduling something. So, yeah, I don't know. If there's anything that you can think of, no, nothing too big or too small. Yeah.
Dad hack. A little trick.
I'll come back to it.
Okay. We'll come
Kinda
back to
think
that.
All right. Well, then in the
It's okay.
meantime, how about a proud dad moment? So,
Yeah.
you know what we're talking about when we say proud dad moment?
There's several.
Okay.
Athletically, when they do well is always fun, especially when they don't have the confidence in themselves. When they find that spot when they succeed and actually enjoy doing it again. This year was probably my oldest wasn't playing as much because she had played in a co-ed team.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got a chance and scored a few goals and had a blast, and you kind of saw that fire go in her eyes. That's when, athletic, that's when I always knew she could do it.
Yeah.
But, when you're not getting put
See
in,
it click.
right.
Yeah.
When you're not getting that opportunity, you hate to see your kids be sad,
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
When she got the opportunity and produced and,
That's fun.
and then the boys started seeing that and started to pass the ball to her, and it was definitely something I was.
Oh, that's
happy
cool.
to see.
Yeah, I could see
Something
that being cool.
to be proud about, for sure. That's awesome.
School wise, they're both good students. But more than anything, they're both good kids. That's they're polite. They might be nuts around me and crazy at home. But when they're away, they're always polite, and that's the thing we always get told when they come from friends' houses or your kids are so polite, and it's like, you talking about my kids? Like,
Yeah, right.
That's something you'll carry with you. Like
Right.
my mom still brings that up. She's like, you know what I used to love is I would take you guys in public, like myself and my brothers. We'd go out to eat and everything. She's like, people would come up to me. My dad's told me this too. People would come up to them and say, I just want to tell you, I'm very impressed on how polite your boys are. Like and my mom still talks about
That's
that
such a
to
proud
this
moment.
day. Like if you carry that far, I'm 36 this year.
Yeah.
Like, and she still tells me that, like, she's like, that's all I can remember about when you were kids, like, is how great you guys were in public. And she's like, I've always been so proud of that. I'm like, that's like you said, man, that's something like that. That'll stick with you forever.
Right.
Like, and as a parent, you did that.
Well,
Right. I mean, like that's the reason why
that's the essence of a proud dad moment, right?
Yeah.
Because yes, on the surface, somebody's complimenting you about your children, but what they're really complimenting is you.
Right.
Because that's what they're
Yeah.
learning. You know what I mean? They're learning basic manners or just their life skills from mom and dad or whoever's involved.
Comes from home.
Comes from home. And that's really cool. You know, I don't get that a ton. My kids are insane.
I mean, they're still at that age now where
for sure.
Like every once in a while, I'll get something from, you know, this is before when we used to go to restaurants and things like that. I'm like, oh man, your kids are great. And I'm like, come home with us and see that.
Hey,
but
come in with us for the car ride. See how that goes.
Right. But that's the point is like, if you can teach your kids when and where it's appropriate to have fun and be crazy, and then there's a time and place to be polite and use your manners, like that's amazing.
For sure. Yeah. Definitely something to be proud of.
That's very cool.
Well, then in that little segment there, were you able to think of any other dad hacks, or should we just take you off that spot since you already gave us 2?
Take me off that spot.
All right,
It's all good.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, it's all good. I mean, Again, I think going back to traveling, when we can all do that.
Dude, the Disney cruise.
I'm always looking.
I've heard that it's phenomenal. And I think
I've never been on a cruise.
Never been on a cruise?
General.
I've been on 2.
My first one was Disney.
It?
Yeah.
I've been on 2, and I was like 12 and 14 when I went, and I had a blast.
Yeah.
And it was so fun because like even when I was 12, I had my 2 brothers and my 2 stepsisters with us the first time. And my dad was like, go ahead and just do whatever you guys want. Like, okay. It was just that freedom, just go have fun. Like,
you
right.
Can't go anywhere.
You're
on a boat.
You got to come back to the cabin at some point. Right. So, I mean, you're back to the room. I mean, we just kind of just roamed around the ship and did whatever. We had a little card. You're like, you want to get food? You want to get drinks? You want to do
ice cream, whatever.
Yeah. There's an arcade. There's like a kids dance club. Like we had a freaking blast, man.
I used to dance the kids dance club.
Oh yeah, I was there, man. I was just tearing it up.
I bet.
I was cutting rug all day. I was playing some 90s hits, man. I was going nuts.
It's amazing.
Yeah, just all hopped up on some pop, you know, some
Mountain
juice,
Dew.
like all day, man. They had like you grab your cup, you just go up there, pour whatever drink you want. There's like a 24/7 pizza buffet. Like, I mean, they're just serving pizza all day.
The idea of a cruise,
midnight
is amazing
buffet
to me, and the fact that I've never gone is just,
dude. Like we would be out, like it would be like midnight, and I'm like, you know, I'm gonna go grab some pizza. I was like 12 years old.
it was ready for you.
Pizza's ready.
And no one told you no?
No, they didn't. They're like, here you go, sir. They're like, this is amazing. You getting room
Do you want
service.
2?
Yeah. I'm like, you know what? It's midnight. I'm gonna go get my bathing suit on. I'm going swimming.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna go hop in the hot tub. Like, you want to talk about freedom as like a teenager? That was the best, because your parents were like, whatever, I'm going to bed.
There's certain Disney cruises. They have like the water slides that go all the way out to outside the ship and come all the way around.
I remember being parked next to a Disney cruise ship, and it was like, man, that looks amazing. It was cool. Like we went on Carnival and Caribbean. I can't remember the hell if it was Royal Caribbean. The 2 ships we went on. So
as much as no vacations have sucked, it's been nice being home with the family. And
so like, to piggyback off what you said about like how like the holidays were like low key.
Mm-hmm.
Low key life in general has kind of been nice, man.
Nice.
It's like, how nice is it to come home, like say on a Friday, and you have no plans?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like we're just gonna hang out. We're gonna have dinner. Let's get pizza tonight. Let's watch a movie. Let's go to bed. Like you don't have to be anywhere.
We put a back patio in this year.
Mm-hmm.
With fire pit and everything else. We spent every damn night out there.
Yeah, we were watching movies out there. We were hanging out, just have the fire going.
Listen to music.
Yeah,
and the girls are laying on the couch out there and just hanging out. It was nice just to.
It's relaxing,
right?
And then you're like, okay, what do we have to do today? Okay, there's no birthday parties. There's nowhere we have to be. I'm gonna start having some drinks.
Right.
I don't have to go anywhere.
How early did that get this year?
There's sometimes that
there was a few
really
days where
early.
like, okay, well, you know what? I'm sitting on the patio.
My wife's
kids are
looking at
playing.
me.
I'm like,
We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, we don't have to be anywhere, right? No plans, no weddings.
Yeah.
I mean, I do miss doing those things, but
Yeah, but when we were doing them all the time, we were on here saying like, oh, this weekend I got off work on a Friday, and I was like, all right, well, I have 2 birthday parties, I have a wedding to go to,
Yep.
and I have this
you have a cookout.
fundraiser to go to. We have a cookout on Sunday afternoon.
your summer was booked.
Yeah.
Right. Virtual's a lot easier. Hit that button, Okay, kids, hi to your aunt.
Yeah, say hi to everybody.
Right.
And when it's over, it's over. And then you're doing whatever the hell you want.
Right.
So, I mean, there are some positives for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know if I'm going to be ready for like the chaos when it, if and when
it'll
it happens
be gradual,
again.
I think.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I think. I don't know.
I think people are just so starving for it, though.
Here's what I'll say is my brother had a drive-by wedding. Or, Jesus, oh my God. She's only 4. So it was a drive-by birthday party, right? So it was amazing because a bunch of people came. So they would hop out and hang out for a little bit and just hang out for like 10 minutes, and they would hop in their cars and leave.
Right.
And the whole party was in their front yard.
Solid.
You know, I hung out for a few hours, but people would just stop by, say hello, drop off a gift, grab something to eat, and then just boom, they're gone.
And one of my best friends, his daughters had her birthday, and we stopped over there, dropped the cart off, 15 minutes, said hello. My youngest got out, gave her a hug, and they talked, and we left.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling my wife, I'm like, this might be what we should do in the future. Like,
Solid.
Because you could invite, because what's the problem too? Like when you have a birthday party for your kids, you're like, who should we invite to come over?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to have too many people because the house is going to be packed.
Yeah.
So this time you could be like, everybody
Just
come,
eliminate
just
all that.
come by. And some people might just drive by and wave and beep and then they're gone. Or some people might hang out for a little bit. But you could have 20 some people come over and hang out in your front yard for a little bit and then that's it. It's just, it's really just a, I want to do that for all the parties.
Yeah.
It is. It's a lot more chill. Less cleaning.
Yep.
Less
you don't have
prepping.
Here's your birthday cake to go. Here you go.
Yeah, here you go. You want,
Here,
we
take
have
a cupcake.
That's what my sister-in-law did. She had everything pre-packaged. So she's like, there's a bag, there's a piece of pizza in this box, and a piece of cake. Here you go.
See you.
Bye. Like, I mean, that's pretty phenomenal.
Solid.
So I might.
It's not bad.
No, it's kind of nice.
It is. And also, if you're the one that's going to the party, you don't have to hang out there for 4 hours.
Right?
When are you guys singing happy birthday?
Nope.
When are you opening the gifts?
We'll do it virtually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some positives to take out, right? Like we're learning to do things a little bit differently, which is fun, right? Like you figure it out, and it'll be interesting to see once. I don't want to call it the fear, but the fear is gone, and
When is that going to be? Like,
I don't know. I mean, look,
It's like that nightmare, like that bad movie that won't end right now.
it really is. And you think about what it used to be like when you went out in public. Like, just didn't even care, right? You know, being around, going to a Indians
just
game.
raw dog in air.
Just raw dog in air all day, man. just
Like, how sick are you guys of masks? Like,
Oh, it's the worst.
dude, I can't.
It's the worst. I'm over it.
I know, man. You ever, I mean, sneezing. The one day I got out of my car, we were at Target. I got out of my car and I was out of the car for 30 seconds. I sneezed all over the front of my, like the inside of my mask. I'm like, Liz, do we have another mask in the car? Like I just sneezed in the inside of it. You know, a good trick is if you have a mask on, pull it up, put your face inside your shirt, sneeze in your shirt, and then you're good to go.
but if you sneeze in public, people
People-
look at you like,
oh
you're
my
a
God.
leg.
Yep.
That's the thing. Like, I mean, you just not care.
Crazy times.
Like even when the flu was like, I mean, you didn't care. You're just going out in public. You're like, wash my hands or whatever. And
Like, I think my daughter told me that someone had like sneezed in her class. And they got sent out of the class to make sure they didn't have the COVID. It's like, the
dude,
insanity.
being like, we all have allergies and things like that. The seasons change and things.
Especially this year, the temperature's going up and down like they
Yep.
are.
Yep.
And I'm at the store and I start like coughing, or like I have the sniffles.
People are running.
They're like, "Oh my god, security!" Get taken out in handcuffs. Yeah, man, it's gonna be weird for sure. It's just amazing to think about, like just being at a Indians game or something though. Like it didn't even matter. Restaurants.
I'm ready
yeah.
for restaurants. Like,
Oh,
restaurants
yeah.
are getting killed right now.
I know.
That's half our business. Is
Yeah,
restaurants.
sure. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, it sucks, man. We'll see what. I mean, hopefully,
We'll figure
it'll be
it
interesting
out.
to see the transition of how it
will,
goes.
It will transition one way or another. How we get there, we'll see.
One day
One day.
at a time.
Let's hope for summertime.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm ready.
I'm ready for summer.
I've been just trying to get through to where my house is done.
Yeah, you hit something though.
Because
At least you had something to look forward to, though.
That's true.
right? You
yeah.
know, like,
Yeah.
what is there to look forward to?
That's all we've been doing is like every day after work. I take the kids, I pick up the kids from school and everything, and we go and check the. I mean, there's nothing different from yesterday to today at the
But you've
house.
made an
But
activity.
we go and we hang out and
Something to do. That's what I do with my girls right now for the new school getting built at Berkshire.
Yeah.
We go look at the new school, and I try to do at least every week, so it's something different.
Right.
But it's just that one activity to get you
Something
away from
to do.
reality
Yep,
for 10 minutes.
Yep.
Just
for
do
sure.
something different. Like
Right.
just have something to look forward to.
That's what we do.
That's what you figure it out. That's what we're doing. So,
Rick,
Rick, thanks, man. This
this has been amazing. Tell us again. Well, you don't have the new website up, right? But tell us where you can find you now, and then we'll blast it out once you guys get your new website and stuff like that.
Right now, our website is Tuscany Wine Distributors of Ohio. It's going to be Rogue Wine Distributors in about 2 to 3 weeks, and but you can find all our products at World Wines, Red Wine and Brew, Heinen's, a lot of different wine shops in the area.
Okay.
But you can always email us also. If you go on to Tuscany Wine Distributors, there's an email, and you can find out to where the wines we tried tonight.
Okay.
I can tell you where to find them at if you're not in our area.
Steve, what was your favorite wine?
Ooh, it's a tough one. I like the what was that second one? The
My second one was my favorite.
me too. It was
That was the
City Limits.
out of
I like that one a
Washington.
lot,
That one was really good.
and I like that bottle. I
I
like
mean,
that
they were
label.
all really good.
No, they, for sure. But that one I like a lot. That was
This third one seems advanced for my palate.
It's a little more earthiness to it, a little more structure. It is a little more. This is definitely different
for someone who's a little more advanced.
Right. I'm not.
We're not
advanced. Yeah.
in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really good.
When you get that other wine you were talking about,
The rosé one.
the rosé, we should have him on, and we'll do like a review.
Do a review.
That'd be
fun.
I'm gonna have about 6 or 8 rosés, so we can do a whole.
We could
tasting
do
panel.
it. We
so,
could do
all right,
it.
so our reviews are almost satire. Like when we first started getting into whiskey and everything, it was like you'd watch somebody's review and be like, "This was definitely distilled with water coming off the south side of the Appalachian Mountains." And it's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like the salmon of Lake Capistrano.
Right, right. And so we look at it like, yeah, it's a really good bourbon color to it. You know,
Yeah.
we have a lot of fun
Right.
with it. It'd be fun to do some wine.
I'm in.
I would do it.
What the rosés that we represent this year? Are most of them are Cabernet or Cab Franc. They're gonna be a lot bigger, bolder type of rosés.
Okay.
They're not your really light, watery rosé. So
Okay. Yeah.
we're gonna have some French ones, of course, domestic. And
Right.
some Italian ones. So it could be-
Okay. Yeah, that'd
we
be a lot
could
of fun
definitely do
to
that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Something a little different for us.
Yeah. We're always.
this
looking
is different for us.
difference- Yeah. Right. And I'm
enjoying it.
thoroughly enjoying
Yeah,
it.
same here.
Like I feel great right now.
no pain.
So yeah.
Very cool. So TuscanyWineDistributors.com.
Yes.
Okay. So make sure you check them out. We'll throw all the links on the episode description and stuff like that. Make sure you also check us out, www.thetalkingdads.com. We post our bourbon reviews, beer reviews, cookie reviews. We've done a lot of shit.
A lot of reviews. We have some other reviews coming up
we
too.
like reviewing stuff. I don't know why.
it's kind of our
weird.
thing. We like to review things.
Yeah. So we do all that. Make sure you download the podcast and subscribe. Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify,
Everything.
all that good
We're
stuff.
everywhere.
Follow us on the socials. And yeah, do all that kind of stuff. And make sure you tell your friends because we're doing some big things. 2021 is going to be a big year for the Talking Dads.
Yeah.
Got a lot of stuff planned. Hopefully, we'll be able to follow through with some of the trips we got going on. Just
Eventually.
to kind of spread the word. And yeah, I mean, our whole mission is to find dads that are doing cool stuff, no matter the industry, no matter the specific realm that they're in. Dads are doing cool things everywhere and still finding time to be good dads, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's
maybe,
cool.
Maybe we could do a show from California or Oregon or Washington.
Let's go.
I can set that up.
And
Let's
if you could
go.
set that up, we're gonna come with you.
Right.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
I'm
As
in.
the kids say. As the kids say, let's
seriously,
go.
that would be so much fun to go do something like that and go visit like
Different
a
wineries
winery.
and-
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I mean, and
Ah,
honestly,
we're
I
in.
mean,
We're in for sure.
you can tell me, I don't know, from what I've heard is that we've got amazing wineries here
We do.
just in this like Ohio Valley type area that is kind of crazy.
just our growing seasons just aren't long enough for
Right.
Yeah,
big reds.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, but there's a lot of distilleries I'm talking to on California and that area that we can kind of link the two shows together. So
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be awesome.
It'd be a lot of fun.
We're in.
I'm all about it. So.
who wants to go out of California and warm weather?
Yeah,
that sounds terrible,
That sounds
man.
awful.
Right.
The nice thing is our wives would be like, "Well, it's for the podcast. Go ahead.
It's work, right?
It's work.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
a
our
work trip. It's a write-off.
That's the nice thing about everything we've been doing. It's like, hey, we're going to Kentucky, and it's supposed to be
Literally
January.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, yeah.
You don't want to go, but
Hey,
work.
we got to do it for the podcast.
Honey, I would take you guys along with us, but
Do you guys really want to be there while we're sitting there podcasting?
Talking?
Yeah, you don't want to be there. It'd be boring for you.
Boring, right?
And they're all about it.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, like, shout out to the wives because they're super supportive
right.
of what
If
we do.
if they weren't, we wouldn't be doing this.
No, right. I mean, 100%. That's true.
Like tonight, we had something going on, and I sent my wife off. She's with the kids, and she's at my in-laws' house, and I'm like, I'm doing a podcast, and she's like, okay, see you later.
Yeah.
And my wife said indoor soccer all night, so
You're doing the podcast, man.
There you go.
There you go.
it's work.
It's for the kids.
It's you're promoting the business.
That's right.
And then do we know it? We'll bring you in for a review.
Yeah, we'll do some wine reviews. That'd be
I'm
fun.
in. I'm in.
That'd be a lot of fun.
All right, let's
And
talk
you
about
know-
that. We'll
you know
do
what we
it.
gotta
If you
do
look it
too?
up, if we do it the right time, I can even bring a winemaker in with me.
Okay.
And he's
we
a
could do-
dad.
You know who I was going to say
And
we
he's a
need to
dad.
bring in? Well, we definitely need to do that. You know who else we need to bring in to do a wine review? Is
Bruno?
Marco.
Oh, Marco.
He'd be great.
He would
I
be
mean-
great. Marco's just pure entertainment.
Marco
as it
has
is.
so much fun. He's come on the podcast a couple times.
Impeccable.
And the guy,
the worst.
And we'll say he's the worst, but the guy is like he's phenomenal. Like he's so entertaining.
He's a great dude.
He's a great guy.
He's awesome. He's one of our best friends. We've done a lot of. Actually, Marco is the reason that we're here today. Like, no shit.
I will definitely agree with that. Like if it wasn't for him
We
starting that
talked
whole,
about it for how long?
we talked about doing this, right? And then like he opened up his studio, and that's why it started.
Yeah.
As soon as we went to his grand opening, we sat down on those mics.
We're like, oh shit.
Like this is
This
it,
is
man.
cool.
This is it. Let's
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
do it. And we just started it, and we just did it, and here we are today. What 80? Where are we on episodes?
Feels like yesterday.
I don't
Does
know.
man.
86, 87?
Something like that. But I mean, but think about that though. I mean, we've
been.
been doing this for a while now, and that's because he started that, and then here we are today.
Yeah.
Sure, we're not at his studio because doesn't exist, but
Yeah.
he
But I
helped
mean,
us
that
out.
gave us the push. We're
Yeah,
like,
for
all right,
sure.
let's do it. So,
So-
yeah, Marco's a great dude.
Oh, that's great.
So we'll have him on with us to do that, and
Yeah.
so we'll plan on that. We'll
And he's
something together.
Italian, so
True, we're not.
no.
I don't know if Slovenians make wine. I don't know.
I don't know what I am, so.
Everybody makes wine.
You're right. You're right. Well, I guess Debonair was a Slovenian-owned place, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah. So there we go.
Really?
Boom.
Oh, there you go. All right, very cool, Rick. Thanks
All right,
again, man.
fellas. I appreciate
That
it.
was a lot of fun. We will make sure to put all the links out.
Yep.
We'll have a lot of fun with it. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, if you love what you just heard or watched, and we know you did, do us a solid and hit that thumbs up. Share with your friends and throw us a comment, literally about anything. Your support legit keeps us going. Oh, and don't forget to give us that 5-star rating. We really appreciate you.